we may have been seeing in the past weeks in their online play and some of the other leagues and online tournaments.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's happening with that, so that will be interesting to see. He's still maintained a pretty active role in the team. I know he's involved in their practices and everything like that, and he's always tweeting about their performances, and he works with them even when he's not playing. So that will be interesting to see exactly what that relationship is.
You know what? Actually, he's not playing for the team. He's just sitting in the coach role, so that kind of throws that theory out the window.
Oh, okay.
Because I forgot that they can actually
coaching slots.
Yeah,
I did not
there's
realize
coaching
that.
slots on the server now. I just remembered that. So those
Cool.
guys are actually going to be jumping in. But we are live now, folks. I believe we are live anyway with the pistol round. So let's take a look at what's happening in game, and starting things right off here on the bat, we can see Anomaly getting a little bit of action here towards middle as the Complexity players are going to be pushing up a little bit here. Anomaly gets Kush there to start things off. Drop to 5 HP, and Kusta finds the opening kill there too as he takes down Sempus with a headshot. Automatic trying to go for a little bit of Z control, but not be able to push through just yet. But it does look like this is where the roster wants to push this through there and into the B site, smoking off the approach to truck here as well. So Enemy, they're going to get pushed back into the B site for the time being.
Yeah, they're actually getting slaughtered as they come into this bomb site. Even Crusoe getting one more, and Sanks finds one in a second on a damaged Anomaly. He can try and make something happen. He does have another goose. He's got a couple pretty low, but I mean, the bomb's down. 3 players in the site. This should not be a round that Enemy can lose.
It's just going to be on Sanks at this point. You take a look, though, both Relics along with Uber, both very, very low at this point, so could get a little dangerous if he's able to pick those two off the bomb. Still down in the middle, so he's going to have to try to go for this, but such a mean crossfire has been set up at this point. I'm already with Sanks down to 34 HP. The odds are going to be so low, so just waiting for him to try and make that push at this point, and he's just biding time as much as possible to try and see what he can work, but as you mentioned, more than likely this should be an easy closeout for Enemy, and there you have it. Kusa runs right out, finds the headshot on Sanks, and it'll be Enemy starting us off here, picking up the first round in this match.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting strategy that Complexity just ran. All 5 coming out mid and actually working their way, towards CT spawn and trying to go wrap around the B bomb site. I mean, even with that one smoke that they had to save for the truck side, there's just too many long-range battles that they're taking against USPs that there's just so many chances that they have to just die. So you actually saw Mainline and Kusa just picking them off one by one at range, and there was no response available. But they are going to force buy here, so that's going to be interesting to see how much damage they can do. Sempus has that deagle, and he's been kind of beast mode with it of late.
We'll see here, too, now, the movement coming out here from Complexity at the moment as they try to just work for this A-take here. They're going to send a couple players inside of Squeaky and a couple more work for A main control here, too. Nobody getting boosted up, so no mid control being gained, but they'll work here to try and get it. And unfortunately, this Molly comes over here towards Squeaky right off the bat, so Roka going to get dropped down to 21 HP from that, and immediately this puts a halt to their plans. Enemy catch on to this, too, and they're going to heavily rotate players over here. Already 4 on the site, so I don't imagine this going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't. Relics gets one. He gets traded off, though, and actually a plant's going to go down in the smoke. Is Kusa going to stop him in time, and he does it. The bomb gets planted, but Dylan's is taken out. There's Sempus with the deagle, trying to find one on Uber. He grabs it. Sanks also responds. Now down to a 2-on-2.
And Sempus again sitting back here, looking for those headshots with it as Enemy trying to push back onto the site. Anomaly having some trouble, though, almost getting picked off here by Sempus, but for the time being, not going to be able to find it. He brute forces through, but Sempus holds, he finds one, and now it's down to a 1-on-1 situation. Sanks low and out in the open, but he connects the shot anyway, and Complexity are going to steal the second round away on an eco and tie us up.
Yeah, really solid trading by Complexity entering into that bomb site. One of the things they did that was actually pretty clever is they throw those smokes and they don't execute behind them immediately. They let them stay up for a little bit. They let the counter nades, the counter Molotov at door expire before they hit the site. And that's a pretty delicate balance on the timing just because, if you wait too long and that smoke fades, you're in a lot of trouble. As it was, and Kusta almost stopped that plant. It was maybe a half second too late.
So now we'll see again here for Complexity, see where they make their movements to now, because Enemy, they're not really going to have too much to defend with here. You can see they go for this big stack over towards the A site just to line up a lot of their players. It will counter to some degree what Complexity is looking to do, as we see Sempus going for a little bit of mid-control here too. He does have the potentiality to get this info out earlier and pick these players up before they can make a chance, but Automatic opening that door, and we'll see Uber be the first one to spot them if they come in through Squeaky, but a couple more lined up for an A-take here as well. However, you can already see her Sempus pushed up through Highway on the site. In comes Automatic. Sempus gets surprised, but he sprays down 2 in a row anyway and finds the third. So Sempus went absolutely crazy there, and now it's just Relics is the last one alive. He's stuck inside Z right now and in a 5-on-1. No way he's going to come out on top of this one. Complexity will come out of this round with no trouble at all, and there you have it. Automatic finds that headshot with the galley to take out Relics, and that's the 2-1 now for them.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crushing that Enemy loses that second round. I mean, especially as a new team into the league to win pistol round and then drop it immediately after that. That's usually the rounds that can give you a bit of a cushion going into the gun round. So that's going to hurt, and even there, not doing any economical damage whatsoever. So a lot of build-up in the bank of Complexity moving forward.
So we'll see where the push goes towards this time for Complexity. Still not any sort of significant buy-up coming up at the hands of NME just as of yet, so not really going to be looking at anything significant. But they do set themselves up for a default this time comparatively to just going for the 4-stack here. Still going to play it aggressively, though, as 2 players from NME. Uber joined by a teammate here. It's going to be Anomaly, both trying to work inside of Squeaky, but already one has spotted this. They will claim automatic, but now they're trying to work their way outside of A main. Roka finding one, so Anomaly now stuck in the portcullis here, trying to work his way outside of Squeaky. He's got a smoke to assist, but Roka comes out and takes him down anyways. So now the others have to rotate in from the B site, and we've already got a lot of players in post-plant positions here from Complexity as well. So Semphis sitting back, waiting for it. He knows these players are coming from truck, and let's see if they can pop out. They're able to spot Relics, and they're going to fall back now because they're getting pushed. This Molly's right in the way, though. Kusa's going to steal one away as he hides behind that corner, but Valens was also able to take out Skylar in the process. So now they're just trying to get these last couple kills, and they execute them no trouble at all. So Complexity do come out on top, and I believe if not this round, then the next we'll be heading into our first full gun round for both our teams.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if Semphis was going to pick up the AWP. He's not going to go for it this round. Everyone else just immediately buys up, but they've got the money for the Molotovs, for all the smokes they need. They have the full rifle kit. So now it's going to be all enemy. I mean, they didn't buy any armor or really too much investment into those 2 eco rounds, so they have a really, really strong buy on this defense. So this is where they kind of have to make a stand here and kind of stop Complexity from racking up the scoreline.
They're going to move their way in here. Molly coming out, but Kusta with the first op shot here is going to be able to take down Sanks. Dex into the floor, gets a lot more info too as to where the players are coming in, but all the nades going directly into Kusta's face, and Molly too, he gets forced out now, but a nice counter flash comes out. He's still going to end up getting dropped, unfortunately, but now Mainline takes his place, and he's going to be able to take down Semphis, so 3 still left alive here for NME defending the site. They've dropped the bomb, but they're not aware that Roka is already up onto the site. He's going to be able to take down Skylar, and now Automatic too finds another frag, taking out Mainline, so it leaves it just on Anomaly coming back in from heaven right now, trying to work this 1-on-2, but as we see, Automatic also still trying to get onto that site with the bomb. Anomaly just rushes out, finds one, but can't transfer the spray in time. So Automatic gets the correction kill there after Roka falls, and Complexity still steal away that round, with just 1 player left alive at the end.
Yeah, another pretty solid defense from NME. It's really unfortunate they're just losing in these trades coming into the mid-round, because initially, Kusta gets that first pick, he survives for a very long time, and they have so much support coming in through the vents from middle. So actually, it looked really, really good for NME. They even were able to rotate one into the bomb site, but still, just not able to trade as well. Now Semphis gets an AWP on in his hands, so that's even scarier going into this eco and moving forward into the future gun rounds.
We'll see here too, Semphis going to take his chances over in mid to start it off. He will get smoked off, unfortunately. Tries to get the timing shot with the op from middle, but not going to end up panning out so well. And NME, again, with a broken economy, go back to the same strategy they used on the 3rd round, where they just go for this 4-man stack on the A site and hope they can use Kusta as one of their star players to hold onto the B site, should there be some action there. But to start it off here, Skylar already taking a little bit of damage as he's jumping up. I believe that was a nade that got tossed in his direction that brings him down to 67. And now the push just going to come out here onto that A site from the T's now, waiting their time a little bit here, but Roka completely flanking out Kusta on the B site as well. Going to be able to find him down. Valens does get a kill with that Molly, and Sank flipping up another one there, takes down Mainline. Finally, we see a response as Uber picks up one, but Semphis along with Valens are going to clean things up there, taking out the defense with minimal losses to account for it as well.
Yeah, these are very, very quick rounds out of Complexity. I think they've only lost, 3 total players in their 3 eco rounds, so that's not bad from them. Interesting there was a stack at the A bomb site for NME, and actually Roka clears out that B bomb site, but Complexity was already dedicated to that A hit, so if something had gone wrong, if they had lost too many players, that could have been a very, very bad situation, a round they kind of scratched their head at in the future, but either way, it's going to be back onto the op as Kusta, 3 men in middle. This is a pretty standard defense to stop a rush middle initially, so NME wants to have that mid control.
Now as we take a look at what exactly will be happening here now, Complexity looking to work their way out here right now. Anomaly will be a big key player in holding this off, and in fact, he already picks up one, but now he's been revealed. Semphis finding one with the op shot, and Roka rounding the corner too. Just as the smoke plumes, he's able to take down Anomaly, hiding in quad corner, but Skylar coming back up through highway. He gets another response, keeping this thing even for now in a 3-on-3 situation, but Relic's getting aggressive now, trying to use Uber as a bit of backup now as they push themselves up further onto the site. Automatic looking for more here. He's going to catch Uber, trying to get aggressive, and he's able to take him down. Spots another one by the car, but Kusta picking up another one with his op as well. He's able to drop down Automatic. Relics, though, catches the plan and is able to come around, stop that from actually happening, and now it's just Semphis alive, coming out way too slowly there, but Skylar actually going to run out of ammo, so both players have to switch their weapons over, and Semphis is going to steal away one. I don't know how he managed to stay alive for that long and steal that kill, but somehow he pulls that off. Relics, though, eventually will take him down, and that's going to once again be another very close round, as Relics will be the last one alive for NME at the end of it.
Yeah, nice play from NME on retaking that bomb site. It's crucial that they actually get that kill over at Forklift. So once they kill that one player, they have so much space to swing wide on that site. And even Semphis not able to cover his teammate, not expecting someone to wrap around like that and kill the planner immediately afterwards. So he almost pulls it out in that 1-on-2. But either way, now it's a double up setup. Sanks has one, Semphis has one, and NME has to win this round. Their economy is completely depleted from dropping down towards one player in that round.
There's going to be an attempt to boost here, but Kusta might be able to spot it if he doesn't get flashed by this, and indeed he doesn't, so he's going to win that middle op battle very, very quickly as he takes down Sanks. And now we see the T's already down a player here, so NME remains strong for the time being, and this is going to put a dent in the plans for Complexity, because not only do they lose that player who was boosted up there, but they're also really not going to get a whole lot of information out of that play, and neither will they get mid-control either. So if they still want to try to move from mid-control, they're going to have to take a risk here and just hope that they find something that's a little bit open. Right now, it would be perfect, because nobody is actually really contesting mid-control, but they still have to be very careful of it. We see Automatic along with Semphis going for that now. Also, Semphis going to toss this Molly in just to take care of anybody that is sitting inside of the vents, which is a fairly common strategy. But there's Kusta again, picking up a second now, reducing the Complexity roster down to 3.
Yeah, that's actually really, really nicely done by NME and Kusta. Semphis punishes Uber for peeking a little bit too much, but they've been so mobile with Kusta, having him over towards mid initially, and now he's rotated back to mid. He gets a kill at mid, goes to B, gets a kill, and then back to mid. Pick things up, and now this A bomb site Anomaly is just hiding inside of it. One player's trying to make his way over towards Struck, and he's not ready for Anomaly to peek out. That's Automatic who falls down, and just Valen's left in a 1-on-3. Gonna try and work his way over towards the B bomb site. He's gonna find a 1-on-1 here because Kusa's still got to be mindful with that B bomb site. But this is looking like a very good round so far for NME in terms of keeping players alive. But if Valens can do anything here right at the end, that would be crushing for NME. And now he's been spotted, so now he's got to find his way to the side. A nice pop flash slows him down, and he can't recover in time. Mainline's going to drop him. So big round off the back of Kusa's 3 kills. NME stabilizes just a little bit.
And unfortunately, Complexity is playing it a little bit too slowly there, as we saw, sort of feeding the kills right into Kusta's. He was at just basically at the perfect place at the perfect time for all 3 of those kills there, so able to completely decimate the roster of Complexity before they were really even able to make any impact on that map to begin with, which just limited their potential output for that round and handed it basically into the hands of NME off of the opping from Kusta. So nice job from him, and again, earning that title so far as one of the star players from the NME roster.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the pick strategy going against Kusa, who's so incredibly mobile, and they're just trying to work those picks, and they get punished for it. So, I mean, now they're on a save round, but Kusa's back in middle looking for any kind of head to peek over the boost, and there's Anomaly getting aggressive. He picks one off, and he's just going to smoke things off. He's going to be able to fall away.
Yep, so happy with the 1 kill there. A lot of teams using this sort of strategy as they just are happy with the extra kill, not going to over-push themselves or over-exert themselves. The bomb also going onto the floor now too, so they can make some guesses off of that one, but Anomaly actually still inside of A main, just now falling outside of that there, so he's trying to catch if anybody did move inside of the smoke there so he could take them out. Semphis also trying to move his way into Squeaky to line up, as it does look like some of Complexity at least still wants to commit to this, but now Mainline's going to get challenged a little bit here too, so we do see Roka inside that site, finds the 1 headshot there, looking to line up the second one, but it's a little bit too slow, and Mainline is able to get that kill, going back over onto him. Now the hand of Complexity, gonna get forced here a little bit, as Automatic actually swinging his way up highway, sneaking through middle, takes out both Skylar and Anomaly, so all of a sudden they've got control of the A site, and they can get this plan, and they're a man up against the enemy roster.
Yeah, they bit far too hard on 1 kill from Roka. A full rotate comes out of that A site, and Automatic's just in position to punish it completely, so now he picks up an M4, still 2 pistols inside the bomb site. Mainline, with that AK, he's got to enter into the site. He's going to flash back Automatic. He's going to swing out. There's one in the open. That's Semphis. He gets dropped, but immediately traded. Kusa with the AWP, there's really not much left to do. He's going a little bit too slow. He's got to find this kill quickly, and he's going to miss, and Automatic's able to spray him down. So another anti-eco loss by NME GG. Complexity of these pistols doing some work.
And Complexity continuing to get away with these rounds that they shouldn't is giving them a nice hefty lead here now as we transition more into the mid and late portion of this half. A 6-3 lead right now, and looking like it's going to continue at least onto the 7th point now. Enemy with no money to continue their buys. They're going to be stuck on a full eco round here, either with default pistols or P250 upgrades. No armor on anybody on the team, and just flashes too, so not really going to be able to do too much to challenge Complexity once again here in the 10th round.
Yeah, that's just crushing to get completely depleted like that one more time. Just when they're starting to gain a little bit of momentum, much like now we're going to see this looks like it's a pop flash strategy for A main. Maybe if they hear any footsteps, they're going to push him, but Semphis is watching for it, and he's going to punish Kusa, just trying to see what he's working with. He gets taken out, and the rest of them still remaining close. They might try and do this pretty quickly, and there it is. The pop flash is in. Semphis spots all 3. A wide peek. He gets punished, but there's enough people back here to stop this, but now an op is in the hands of Anomaly. He's got to fall away, so it's just going to be a straight sprint towards the B bomb site for Complexity. They're going to get a free plant.
They'll leave Sanks back over here in mid-garage to try and contest and see if anybody comes in through that angle, but won't be happening. Everybody else is rotating down highway right now. Potentially we could see Mainland going inside there, though, but it does look like he's trying to work his way into the vents themselves just to get onto that site quicker and give them a little bit more dynamicism for this retake here. Skylar, though, still a little bit curious as to what is actually inside here. He doesn't pay attention on top of the big red inside of mid-garage, so Sanks is finally going to get rewarded for playing that position. Automatic finding one. Uber up in heaven will drop one, but Roka takes him down on the way down to the floor, so he's going to deck him there. Nicely done by him, and now it's just an anomaly. He's got the op to work with, but he's not even going to attempt to play this out at this point. Going to sit back inside the CT spawn, now that he's got that op, save that gun and use it for the next round.
Yeah, pretty good damage done this round by NME, and even salvaging the AWP. That was a small mistake by Semphis that could actually come back to bite them. I think Kusta would have enough money for it anyways, but you never want to give over a free AWP to your opponents, and they've got one here this round, so nicely done from NME. This is going to give him a little bit, yeah, see, I mean, Kusta would have had to have bought a glass cannon AWP, but now he's going to get one for free. He can buy up armor behind it as well, so immediately becomes a little bit stronger.
And again, now this is going to be where we see the strength coming out from NME. Basically, if Akusta is able to turn himself on and work a lot better here with that op, then we're probably going to see another strong defense. Most of them avoiding hit armor here too, but again, keep in mind that because of the fact that they're on the T side, or they're going against the key side, and you've got the AKs to work with, which are going to be instant headshot anyway, the head armor is not super necessary. The thing I am worried about is the lack of nades, but we'll see how that pans out when we actually get to the full take scenario here from Complexity. Is once again, they're taking it nice and slow here, just trying to exercise their options, get as much info as they can, and then decided to take it at a later point in time.
Yeah, and very slow strategy coming out from Complexity at the moment. No one even boosted up. They're just watching for any kind of B push. This is just, you know, a play. They're going to let Roka see what he can find. They're going to let him deathmatch. The rest of them not even putting any pressure over towards the A site whatsoever. So as the smoke clears, you're going to see Roka get a little bit more aggressive. Much like he did with the Deagle on a couple anti-eco rounds ago. He's going to see what he can find. Almost catches one dropping down. He's not aware there's two in the site, though. He gets caught out in the open, but they haven't punished him quite yet. They've done a little bit of damage, but he wins that battle. Nicely done from Roka, but there's Kusta, third player over towards the B bomb site. He should call that. He should call there's three there. That could mean aggression over towards A, and you can see NME responding immediately.
And now we see there that movement there is going to allow Complexity as they move themselves out towards middle. They take control there. Still a little bit indecisive as to which site they want to go for, though, but with their movement over towards highway now, it definitely would indicate a movement in there, and that along with the fact that Valen's still sitting inside A main right now with the bomb. They've got to try to line up this take, but now there's three on the site itself. Automatic, though, makes quick work of one. He's going to be able to take down Kusta. There goes the offer, hiding a second now as he wraps around Big Red and is able to take down Anomaly, so it's just Skylar on the site itself, but they hadn't spotted him. Skylar, though, not able to find the frag, so Valens is going to be able to take him down. Bit of a mistake there by Skylar, and now they're going to be able to get the plan. It leaves just Uber as the last one alive at a 1-on-4.
Yeah, this is brutal. You can see NME has some right ideas. Just the timing of some of these rotations has been off. That time it's Kusta getting caught out in the open with nowhere to go. He gets mowed down, and the defense behind that just collapses. He's at 11-9 right now, but that round he just couldn't afford to fall there. They had the right call. They had three players over at the A bomb site, so the defense was correct. And then Complexity on the hand, Automatic and Semphis just leading the way. Sanks as well as right up there, 12, 11, and 10 kills. And this is a nicely done match so far by Complexity, up 8-3 and forcing another save on NME.
I am loading back into the game as my CS keeps crashing on me, so go ahead and take it away for now.
Yeah, you loving that new update, baby.
Dude, I don't know what it did, but it's like I crash every 5 minutes. I'm back in.
I want to see the Spider-Man wires. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm waiting for.
We haven't had it defuse yet.
I've only seen these pictures, and it's I really want to see one in person to really get the full effect. But here's Semphis. Look at how aggressive he's getting in all these situations on eco rounds when he's swinging widely. He's still alive up there. Finally, he gets taken out. He did drop two. That off cannot be salvaged, and the rest of them are just going to get mowed down. Kusta does find himself 2 kills, but a little bit too little, too late. I mean, you can't really play for the economic moral damage anymore. You got to just put rounds on the board. So one more full buy here for NME.
And with them again here, now we see, as you mentioned, that last full buy, or one of the last full buys we'll see from NME here in this half, trying to work it. And I mean, actually, kind of get your opinion on this while we're waiting for the action to get started this round. Do you think a lot of the switches coming off from the M4A1S to over to M4A4s could be affecting the performance now from NME, considering they may not be used to it yet, since the patch just happened?
Maybe just a little bit, but it shouldn't be this much. I mean, this is just Complexity outclasses them as a team in terms of experience and skill individually, so I imagine this would be much the same result if they had their M4A1s.
And I crashed again, so...
Alrighty, well, it is going to be an A hit. And Relics is a little bit scared to peek, but there's Kusta inside the bomb site. He gets that first pick onto Sanks. One's coming boosted over. That's Automatic. He's biding his time, and he gets a nice headshot on Uber. That's going to open things up just a little bit. Meanwhile, Roka and the team has to make their way to the bomb site, jumping up in the box. Relics takes him out. Kusta's hiding inside the smoke with an AWP. That's really curious, and he just gets sprayed down. Automatic spots him just a little bit. And this defense is crumbling. They might not expect one more to move into the MBK corner. That's Relics. He does grab one at a second. That's Automatic, who is very low. So quickly just down to Sempus. Hasn't been able to do much from the door. But this defense over at the A bomb site, they came together nicely when they had to. And now in a 1-on-2, he's going to try and take this site. He does have the P250 out, but I mean, this is good positioning from NME, and he doesn't have the bomb either, so there's really not a whole lot that he can hope to do here unless he gets a peek sometime soon.
We see here, too, that they're trying to go in. I'm not on the floor to see that Sempus has to play this so carefully. He's got a deathmatch out this round, as there's no way he's going to be able to get that plant. Being a normal method here with both players winning for him. And there's Anomaly again, just taking it nice and slow. So NME are going to be able to come out on top of that one and pick up a 4th round here, trying to claim at least these last 2 here to make it close. But if not, we're going to be looking at a very, very brutal half on the CT side for NME, and it'll make things very troublesome when we switch sides and put it onto their T side.
Yeah, but this round they do have a double op setup now. So Kusta and Mainline both taking one up, and this means they can go back to what they were doing earlier in the half when they had 3 push up in middle to gate mid control, 1 op Kusta over towards B and 1 in the A bomb site. That tactic can be a little bit more aggressive, but they're actually not going to go anywhere near that. They're just going to leave Kusta in middle alone with the AWP. Get a Molotov off the boost. There's an op over towards the B bomb site. Gets flashed and misses a shot. And once again, this is that strategy from Complexity where Roka's all alone over at the B bomb site. When the smoke clears, they're going to let him do his thing and just try and deathmatch his way into the bomb site.
So now, taking a look here now, it's happening like once every 2 minutes now. It's really annoying. I'm like seeing like half of this game as I try to rejoin it basically every round. So I'm missing half the game, unfortunately. So Sempus again trying to work his way over here inside of A main, but there's 2 players waiting for him, so it technically wouldn't be the smartest move in the world to work his way inside of here, but we'll see if he's able to push right now as he's really just testing the waters, and he's going to be able to see that there's a lot of resistance coming in here, so it may not end up panning out so well for these players. But the rest of them too here, you can keep in mind that Roka on this lurk once again, but there's Kusta finally opening something up here for NME. He's going to start it off, and Uber waiting for that lurk to come out from Roka. He's going to pick up the first kill, and again, this is a good situation that had netted NME GG a couple rounds earlier on in this half where they were able to find these earlier picks, so if they can keep this consistent now, they might just win out this round. However, Automatic opening up another gap back over here on the B side. He's going to be able to take down Uber, but NME quick on the rotate, already moving both Kusta and Mainline in to support this.
Yeah, and actually, they've got to find a way to cross, but they only have 1 smoke, so that goes down right now, and they've got to get across soon. They've got to time it, trying to hit some lucky shots with the AWP, and there's Mainline trying to rush in. A nice flashbang, but oh, Kusta! Mainline falls, but Kusta actually gets that kill, and with the bomb down, there's no time left on the clock. This round has been too slow from Complexity, so they're going to lose it. Although I believe Sanks did die before the timer, so he's going to get some bonus money. He's not going to get frozen out. But that was initially that was a really nice bait and switch over towards that A bomb site with the M4s pushing up close, and it kind of baited Sempus into a peek to see if he could clear out close, and they had just had Kusta way far back with the AWP, catch him completely off guard. So that was actually pretty clever by NME, and from there they could just kind of run down the clock. There was no map control whatsoever from Complexity just based off that strategy they run, so nowhere for them to go, and they get punished.
So now we head to the 15th and final round here. Unfortunately for Complexity, not able to pick up that much in their arsenal here for this point here. Sempus and Valens, they're going to be reduced down to pistols. They've still got the 3 AKs in here, but it's going to be reduced to say the least here. And they don't also really have a lot of utility to work for the take itself. NME armed to the teeth, but we've seen a lot, as you already mentioned, a lot of those eco rounds had been won by Complexity previously. So that arm already with 3 AKs could still give them the potentiality to steal away this round and make it a 10-5 half. But for the time being, they are being held back as Sempus is getting towards pop-up once again. Mainline is going to find the opener, though, as he was hiding nice and patiently inside of the vents there. He's going to be able to catch that lurker once again, Roka, and that should, for the most part, kill any potentiality of a B push. You can see how the players lined up for the A push anyway, so now they're going to work their way over. Sempus is able to spot one that's inside of quad there, so they'll look to take him out here first. Already getting dropped down to 5 HP. You see the initial peak coming out from the Complexity players over here. Kusta tries to get the quick shot, but not able to find it as Sanks is going to be able to take him down. Mainline trying to creep up on these players too, but Relics is actually going to steal that kill away. Now we're at even terms. The bomb does get planted, and now we have to see exactly how NME get back up here. Skylo jumping a little bit too high, and they are going to be able to spot him. Sanks will take him down, and now they've got that advantage here. Uber trying to push his way back in, but such limited info with this great smoke placement. They don't really have a clue as to where these players are, and Automatic jumping up and down too is able to catch them. There was a nice shot, and this should force Automatic outside of quad, but Sanks holds strong, picks up one. Mainline gets a response. Valens inside of A main, though, is going to be able to pick up the final one from the CT side, and that's going to close out the half in the favor of Complexity with a 10-5 half.
Yeah, much better half from Complexity. I mean, that round was just, they had a lot of reliance on Roka just walking into this B bomb site, and NME actually seemed like they were almost scared to fight him. You know, he was able to get into that site and really manipulate and have a lot of space to work with, and that forced a lot of rotations on multiple rounds out of that A site, which which weakened that defense. So Complexity players, knowing that this was happening, just took advantage of it, especially in that last round. You could see they pinned down the Opera and Quad. He wasn't able to peek anything, and they just overran the defense. So with some good post-plant positioning behind that, they just easily choke out the round. So nicely done, 10-5 for them, and now NME's got a very, very tall task ahead of them.
We'll go right into our first pistol round here, guys, of the second half now. NME versus Complexity. Let's see if NME can swing things back. As you said, switching things up here could make things a little bit more difficult for NME, considering they have those troubles on the CT side, which could multiply even more on the T side. The leadership there is not going to be as strong as we would have expected it now that Ryu has only dropped down to a coach role. But Sanks going right inside A-Main, and he opens it up in this half for Complexity by finding the headshot on Uber. Anomaly, though, quick to get a response, but Semphis as well, picking up another one. He's going to be able to find Anomaly, and we see the quick switch here from NME. They're going to try to work their push into B, but Roka decking one to the floor there, gets the clothesliner on the Relics and takes him down. Kusta trying to work for this push here, but Kusta gets the goose. She moves in. He's going to take down Roka. Automatic trying to take him down before they get that plant, but not looking like it's going to be happening here so far in mainline. Now going for that plant as the rest of Complexity are on their way in the rotate, spreading themselves out too, so it is going to be a hard defense to hold, and there's Sanks already picking up one, moving in, mainline still holding inside, but now he's got a tall task to work, and it's not going to happen, and I think for the first time we are going to get to see the Spider-Man wires. There they are.
That looks so silly.
It does. It's just like it's just a beam of light. And what's funnier is the device that they're holding. It just like straight up looks like they're just using it with their iPhone or something.
I think in the update it was called like a micrometer, or something like that. Yeah, something weird. But,
it makes some sense, but
that's depressing. And yeah,
you can wirelessly defuse bombs.
Yeah, right. He's got the app for it. I mean, that's just like Complexity just felt like playing two Terroricides. I mean, they just straight up bull rushed the door. It almost seemed like they knew that NME was going to be setting up for some kind of an A hit. Either way, the response from NME was correct. Just bull rush into the B bomb site with whatever you've got left. It just doesn't work out for them. Roka's in there, gets a nice tap away. They just whittle it down. It's just outskilling from that moment on.
And here comes mainline once again here. Smoke over here towards Squeaky is going to prevent any assistance from Anomaly coming out immediately, but mainline does get his response smoke and flash out here as well, so they are going to look to go for a quick push here, but it will be a fake as the main push is going to be happening over here towards B. Anomaly finding one, and this is going to work out great. They've baited out every single player here from the Complexity roster. They're quick to catch on, and Roka still holding in that B site there too. He's going to be the only one left to defend, but now they cleared out. We see that the enemy a little bit slow on actually getting this plant. They know they've killed that last player, but the bomb just now getting up onto the site. They got to be careful too, because Kusta's down to only 9 HP, but we see there too. Thankfully, it's just one left there from Complexity itself, and Skylar cleans things up by taking down Sanks to hand over the second round to NME.
Yeah, what a really poor defense over at that A site. So many players were just able to wrap around the bomb site, you know, over towards Quad. They get into the site and no one's even looking that way, so it's just free kills. Basically, I think that was Anomaly who did that. A couple free entries for him on the A site, and that just throws everything to hell. It was a well-timed fake, but without the success of that initial attack on the A bomb site, then that B defense would have been strong. So just a little bit, like Complexity, just losing a little bit of focus there.
And a big player boost coming out here from NME now, going for very, very quick mid-control. This Molly, not sure if they or the enemy tossed it out, but they're going to play Don't Touch the Lava and jump over that one anyway, managing to avoid that one. And a very quick push coming out, but Automatic slaughtering Anomaly with the Deagle there. Relic's looking for another one as well, and he's going to find it as they rush their way in here. Automatic getting dropped also there by Kusta too, so just 3 players left alive here for Complexity. And again, it looks like another anti-eco should be going their way pretty easily, as Skylar going to score yet another kill here with a nice nade toss over towards Sanks.
Yeah, it's definitely he gets blinded just as that smoke clears. Uber's getting a couple nice kills. So nicely done from him. They only lose 1 player on that anti-eco, so well done for them. Now they're up to 7 rounds, making a little bit of a bid at a, I guess you could call it a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, picking up these rounds here, and we're going to probably have one more free one unless we see the eco victory stolen. I mean, 8-11, it's definitely, they put themselves back into a situation where they can very easily swing a comeback at that point.
Yeah, they have a lot of investment in this round. They have to make sure they're not going to lose too many players. Look at all the dates they have. If they lose, this is so much equipment they could possibly lose just with 2 or 3 kills. So
we'll see exactly how. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to fast boost up through the Molotov. It's only Uber who's out there. He got isolated pretty easily, and there's 3-player stack over in B for Complexity, but either way, NME just has complete mid-control right now. This is something we didn't see Complexity really do too much on their T side, was grab mid-control and just work it slow from there, but NME here choosing to Automatic. It's a nice tag with the Deagle, but can't take down Uber.
Now again, off of this one, NME working quite a few of their players, or at least trying to work them inside events right now. They're being a little bit cautious, but not really a reason for it, so just taking it nice and slow right now for obvious reasons. And 3 from Complexity are going to try to work together on the site itself so they can act as a surprise. There's Sanks finding one, a single shot from the Deagle to the head of Kusta, taking him down, and all of a sudden this offensive not going the way it needs to there. Sanks picking up another one, Anomaly finally finding something here for the enemy roster, but now we see those 2 players here from coL. They're going to get blocked up too, and Skylar, great timing with the smoke, able to catch Sanks just before the smoke gets in the way, and he's able to find that kill, win the duel there, and this nade should be perfectly timed to hit automatic too. I think he backs out of it, so he's actually going to avoid most of the damage there. It's a good catch by him, but now they move on here too, and Relic's immediately going to clean up 2 more, and automatic gets completely shut down. Unfortunately, that smoke definitely not favoring him, and Skylar's able to catch him before he runs out of it.
That looks so good for Complexity. They stop that initial hit, and then it just collapses the patience from enemy. They just fall out a little bit, wait for some kind of peaks, and Complexity gets a little bit antsy. I guess not realizing if enemy was staying or rotating back towards that A bomb site. So they just get punished as that round goes on. But nicely done from enemy to just hold their composure, find some extra kills, and get into the bomb site. I mean, taking it confidently with the superior gunpowder.
And we're going to see exactly what Complexity are able to work for now. We do get to that 8-11 scoreline we were just talking about, so guns in the hands of both teams here now. And we'll see just how exactly this pans out here. Is they're going to go for a quick take on B once more, but Roka's still able to hold strong. He finds the opener. Sempus looking for shots with the op, but not able to find it. However, Sanks up in heaven, and there's Sempus picking one off through the smoke. Able to catch Anomaly on his chance to work his way over towards Generator. Not going to happen, though. They did manage to get their way on site. The problem is that, of course, obviously they've lost 4 to 5 of their players, and there's still 4 left alive. The bombs on the ground. Kusa doesn't have that either. If he could find a way to pick this up and maybe at the very least steal this plan, he could get it, but he can actually should have at least been able to just see Sanks' head, but I don't think he noticed it, so isn't going to be able to grab that kill there, which he might have been able to steal away, and now is lost on his lonesome here, looking for a peek. Will find one and takes down Sempus, but now they know where he is, where he may have been hidden a little bit there earlier, and this is going to make things a little bit more harder for him now that he's been revealed and he can't get any combo kills on the first peek he goes for.
Yeah, all he can really do is put the bomb plant. This is around, you can see even the Complexity players, they're not going to give him anything to work with, so actually wouldn't be surprised if he fake planted this and tried to look up, but he's just going to get it down. He's got the money for his team. He's going to get naded. Flashbang, but can he hit his first shot? He can't, so now he's got a little bit of chance. He's got to isolate these last 2, but he's looking up. Automatic had already dropped down. And there's the beautiful defuse action coming out one more time.
It's just like laser beams that shoot onto the bomb.
Boy.
So now we see that response round, of course, coming out from Complexity since they finally were able to get the guns a few rounds into there. A little bit of a bump, of course, there with us seeing enemy stealing away the second round, the same way that Complexity did in the first half, but they get themselves right back on track with the guns now. But thankfully, enemy able to get a couple fairly clean rounds as far as T-side is concerned off there in the 3rd and 4th rounds. Now are still able to afford their another buy here heading into the 6th and still able to keep the competition very strong. And Kusta already opening things up as he gets boosted up here, picking one off on Roka and finding a second one there too on his Sanks, checking out Sandbags and eliminating him very, very quickly.
Yeah, Kusa, that's a sick round. A couple nice entries, and now Relic's, Sempus only has one option. That's to push up towards B. He knows he's going to get pinched from vents, but can't find anything to happen, so very, very quickly in this round, it's a 2-on-5, barely any damage taken. Only Kusa taking 5 points of damage, and this is a dominant round out of them, so the T side looking pretty solid so far for enemy as they make this comeback.
And it doesn't even look like here that Complexity, they're not even going to really attempt this here. They're just going to go for the save at this point, and yeah, as you said, enemy definitely making a solid swing at this one, putting themselves into a -3 advantage against Complexity once more, and bringing it very, very close indeed. So this should break the money situation for Complexity once more here too, which is why they're looking for the save at this point, but Anomaly already pushing forward. He's found one, and we're going to get into a duel here in just a second. Uber versus Valens, and Valens not able to find that one. Uber's going to take him down, and enemy pick it up, and no saves at all for Complexity, so it'll be a full eco for them heading into the 7th round.
Yeah, this is much like what Complexity did to enemy in the first half, except, I mean, enemy's doing it with guns right now. Complexity won a couple eco rounds that really destroyed the money, the economy of enemy on their defense, and now enemy's reset them one more time outside of winning that second round. Now they reset the economy, and this is brutal. This is the best way to make a comeback, is to have some of these free rounds where you're just going against these pistols with no armor. And look at the performance that Kusta's putting out, 24 and 15. He's playing really, really well in his debut in Pro League.
And here we go once again. He pushes forward now, leading the charge with the rest of his team now, looking to take highway control, and there's no resistance at all on that here from Complexity. They don't really seem to like contesting middle controller when they're on their ecos, so they are going to hand that over, and it's a very, very controversial area to hand over now to NME, as now they're kind of split themselves up here. Sanks, of course, still has a way to sneak through over here towards the A site, but that imposing threat that there could be someone in Z is going to injure them by quite a bit. So now that they take mid control, there was a little bit of aggression that came out there for Valens to try and scout out some info, but it doesn't pay off too well. He's going to end up getting shut down there by Relics at mainline, finding another one back over on Highway 2. He's able to take down Automatic, and now they get free A-site control and are shutting down the others that are on the rotate too, so this should be another easy pickup for NME, sitting at 10 to 12 now and making things a very, very close battle here for control of this map on Cash.
Yeah, Roka's going to have to try and do some damage. They've got to get a couple kills here. This money is building up really, really well for NME, but Relics is going to take him out. There's Sanks with one. That's a good start, but so much more to do. Kusa's going to get aggressive with his pistol out. He's going to grab that angle, force him back, and now he's just trapped. There's nothing he can do. Anomaly takes him out. So yeah, I think you made a really good point. Is that, you know, even under some of the gun rounds, they're not really contesting mid control. And actually, I think Kusta punished him really, really hard the last time they had a gun round with two players at sandbag, and he picks out both of them. So we're going to see one more save, but Complexity's going to have to find a way to get aggressive early on in these rounds and shut down some of the very fast, very aggressive attacks from NME that's giving them so much map control.
It's going to need to be a double safe here from Complexity as well. They go for the upgraded pistols this time around, so maybe able to be a little bit more imposing, but still, no armor on most of the players is going to make aiming with double the difficulty, essentially, at this point now. And even though we've got 5.7s in the mix, a little bit more utility here, too, with smokes and flashes along Valens and Roka. Still not going to amount to much here if they can't get the aim, and especially without armor there, it's going to make it very hard if they take the first hits here. So once again, it's going to be a fake over here towards A, but they take it hook, line, and sinker, and they're even going to leave Anomaly and technically a main line here too, but it actually won't be a fake. Apologies, they're just transitioning it over towards middle where they get free control again, working it up highway just to try and give them a side swipe there, and it's actually a fairly even trade so far. It's dropped into a 2-on-2, but there's Costa once again doing the work. Gets dropped into a 1-on-1 now as we see Valens picking up the AK as that crazy trade continues to happen. Valens, though, not going to want to take a risk on going for that direct engagement through A main again against Kusta, so now they're going to move back. Kusta, though, is going to take this bomb way over towards the B site, and thankfully, at least in Valens' case, he's already in middle, so if he's able to catch on to the fact that he's rotated B and gone for the plant here, he can already jump inside the vents and get to the site very quickly to try and contest it.
The question is, can he hear this plant going down? And he can't, so he's actually put himself in a really, really bad spot where he has no clue what bomb site this has been planted at, and that's kind of the danger of running so far away from a bomb site in this kind of a situation. Now look, he's going to creep up onto A thinking that it's planted here, but oh, he's already wasted time. He finally realized that he's bailed out, but Kusta's got great positioning. Does he not hear him behind him? Oh. He doesn't whatsoever. It's a free kill for Valens. Kusta, he must have thought those footsteps were coming from checkers or something, but that's the easiest one-on-one Valens is going to be able to win ever in his entire life.
The fuse is going to be a little bit close, but I think he should have just enough time in order to pull this off here. And, ooh, very, very close to me, but Complexity duking out on top of that one. As you said, probably the least likely kill that should have happened there in the favor of Complexity. And not only is he going to get the kill, but a free out pickup here as well. So this gun run that we go into for Complexity is going to look that much stronger, considering they have to go for that less of an investment now if they want to go for the op here on Sempus.
I'm so confused.
You know what, I was getting a little scared too, because it almost looked like he was going to try to go for the knife, and then we saw there too that he actually turned around and Kusta almost found the shot. It was a good thing he picked it up, because that almost ended up being a pretty big fail on his part.
It was on both their parts. Like, neither of them expected them to be there with their knives out, just running around. Kusta had flashbangs out, so holy lord. But either way, that's another eco round win for Complexity. That's their third, I believe, of this match, so that's another heartbreaker. 13 to 10 now. And a very much more slow-paced enemy, as they still have a lot of money behind this, so they can basically do any kind of tactic they want, but just watching for any kind of pushes. Now they're going to reconvene over towards this B bomb site. It looks like they want to send one player out mid for a split into the vents.
I see this push coming out here too. Roka going to be a big player trying to hold this. Not sure if you can hear the footsteps, but Sanks gets the call. Now Skylar coming out though, and we'll see Roka again. He's maintained his quietness for this entire time, so he's going to be able to get a free kill off of that one. Not expecting to be over there in mid-cubby. Anomaly finding two for the trade though, and it's going to bring it down to just two players left alive for enemy. Roka's still going to be the man up here now for Complexity as they try to work their way in, but Automatic having some trouble there from Heaven finding the spray. He falls back a little more, and we see that almost perfectly timed flash there too. It almost cost the lives of Kusta, but now Kusta rolling in. He's going to be able to find the pistol shot, taking down Roka. The flash should be coming popping off here at any moment now, too. They're still a little bit hesitant on that, but now they've even the odds. Another smoke comes out here in CT main, so Valens just has to YOLO this. He's pushing through, and not going to be able to find that there. The reduced fire rate on the M4 definitely paying off in the favor of enemy, however, still brought into a one-on-one, and Kusta finding the closing shot, takes out Automatic in his attempt to go wide out into the open, and enemy now just sit 2 more rounds behind, tying it up against Complexity.
Alright, well, Kusta's just going beast mode at the moment. I mean, outside of that one-on-one that he lost, which I'm so confused about, but what a nice round from him, doing a really, really good job watching the flank, covering his teammates as well, and just being aggressive and finding Roka. That was a crucial kill to have. Either way, once again, Complexity, they're going to be on, a bit of a force buy. They have some upgraded pistols. Semphis has the armor behind this CZ, but not able to maintain any kind of purchase with rifles. So now Semphis pushing up in mid all alone. He gets dropped very, very easily. No one to support him whatsoever.
And they're going to move very, very quickly again here. Mid-control being gained almost for free at this point. Automatic going to try to challenge it a little bit here, but he's just got a measly little P250, so he can't do much to contest on that anyway. And not only also sneaking around, he's going to be an additional entry into that A site if they still choose to go for this. But Sanks actually, if he times this correctly when they go for the push on the A site, he could do a lot of damage from this flank, but still being a little cautious in case Uber decides to come in there, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So good awareness there from Sanks, and able to avoid an unnecessary death, and still keeps the potential alive here for Complexity to possibly steal away this round. Very unlikely, of course, considering the guns, but positioning-wise, they're still in a pretty okay spot as far as I'm concerned. Unfortunately, Sanks here, he's going to get taken down as he does try to go in after that smoke comes out, and that was a good bait there from Uber. Not only is he going to find that one, but he picks up a second one here on Automatic as well, as he's back over by the truck. Valens is going to get surprised too, so they had the positions, but enemy managed to find better ones there and outflanks them. So plan will come out, no problem here, and now it's just Roka sneaking up on them from middle on highway. He might be able to find one and sneak it away, but odds are not looking too likely at this point, and enemy should be able to get out of this one scot-free with all 5 players alive in the process too. And there you have it, Uber picking up 4 that round with the P90.
Yeah, does he keep it is the real question, or is he going to upgrade? Because it's now 12 to 13. They have so much money, and he is going to upgrade pretty much immediately. And this is one more save from Complexity. This is so curious. They've saved so much this half. I mean, this is round 11. They've played 10 rounds in the second half, and I feel like Complexity saved at least 5 of them. So
that's a pretty big change, too, if we're still looking at the leadership coming in from Semphis comparatively to what we saw from a lot of last season, too. I mean, Semphis became infamous for just this, buy almost every single round strategy, so that's a pretty interesting change-up in the overall strategy from Complexity.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But the bigger thing that worries me is their eco routes. They have no plan. I mean, this time at least Semphis gets that trade kill, but last time he just rushes up mid all by himself. He has nowhere to fall back from here. He's going to have to take that battle, but Uber basically just clotheslines him as he leaves. An enemy playing this smart, still so far back. They know it's an eco round. They're waiting for any kind of push or aggression. They don't want to get caught off guard. And this is looking like it's going to be tied up at 13-13.
Once again, enemy still trying to decide which site would be the best for them to push into. Not too much of a reason to be worried, but definitely thinking very, very carefully about this, as they don't want to have any unnecessary deaths. We just talked about how strong their money situation had become here, and they want to keep it just as strong, regardless of the fact that we see Complexity being on an eco round here, just checking every single avenue possible. Relix is going to reveal himself here, and Sanks with a nice push. We'll be able to find him. Valens elsewhere as well was also able to find another frag to take out Uber. So at least Valens and Sanks down at somewhat low HP. Sanks sitting at 47 and Valens at 14. But Mainline has also taken damage earlier in the round here too. He's sitting at 30 HP with Anomaly really the only player at a high mark at this point at 96. So to be honest, this carefulness might actually work out against the favor of enemy, as it's given Complexity kind of the initiation time they need in order to find these kills. And there's another one too. Anomaly tries to take it slow into the site. It doesn't pan out, and Sanks should be able to find that final kill, and he does. Takes out Mainline with some team assistance there from Uber, and Complexity are going to steal that away just before we tie things up.
Jesus, I mean, one way to counteract the fact that you've saved 5 times in one half is just to win every eco. This is what they've won 2 now in each half, so that's 4 total. And this is the thing. This should be enemy's match. I mean, they're gonna leave this. So they're like, all right, we lost 4 eco rounds, and we still got 12 rounds so far. This is incredible. So what looks good initially for enemy, I mean, they just in the mid round, it's starting to collapse here and there.
So we'll see here again where the push comes out from on enemy this time, as they are finally going to be dealing, after quite some time of a delay and quite some inconsistency in this, a fully armed Complexity, but immediately Uber catches some aggression from Semphis and is able to take him down. So we're going to see that initiation now turn it into an A push. Good smoke setup here coming out, but Anomaly jumping on top of Big Red. He's able to find Valens and takes him down. Uber sitting back here too, watching out, and already here the defense of the A site's been shattered. Automatic still in there, but Uber able to take him down, and out leaves it just on to Roka here, but Roka not going down without a fight. In a 1-on-4, so the odds are not looking too likely, but he's getting these frags. He's finding 2. And now is working a 1-on-3 here. Limited info at this point, and he'll fall back just to remain safe, just in case anybody tries to get bold and peeks against him.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much he can do here. He's just looking for any kind of pick before he moves his way to the bomb site, and Kusta's just going to drop him. But this is, holy lord, this is some bad Counterstrike being played by Complexity right now. Like, you just finally stabilize your economy, right? You just finally get a buy round. Why is Semphis pushing up through a smoke alone? Why is there any kind of lone aggression? So yeah, my game crashed as well. I just heard word that our stream crashed, but like, there's no reason to be taking that kind of a gamble. You look at the payoff for it. You know, if they win, I mean, they get one round, but if not, they get punished like they are. Now they're possibly going to be at a double save, so this is just another opportunity for NME.
And we'll radio cast them until we're back in game. Hopefully our producer will let me know once we're back in.
I'm back in. Oh,
so
you mean radio cast for them? Yep.
The actual producer, so they can see it on the stream, but... So we're back in now, so I don't actually have to radio cast, thank God. So here comes the push now from Uber. He's going to try to work his way in through vents. Ruka maybe looking to inch his way out there too. There is somebody sitting inside of a useless room right now. That's going to be Skylar, but Anomaly just waiting inside of A main. He's actually going to end up picking up the first one. He'll take down Valens, sitting right behind each other here is Anomaly and Automatic. One inside A main and Automatic as well, making his way all the way through Squeaky at this point, but now they're pushing up. Sanks with some nice patience there is able to connect a nice amount of damage over onto Uber, but not enough to take him down. Skylar picking up another one for the enemy roster. Roka finally finding something for Complexity, but that's all they've really gotten so far here. And Anomaly looking to maybe find another one. They just spotted another player here. Automatic moving his way in though and catches two. Swap it off the aim there. Takes out Kusta and Anomaly, but Mainline looking to maybe shut things down. Automatic arm with the op though might be able to work something as of yet. Here comes out, catches Skylar with his pants down, going for the jump and shot, and they're going to be able to eliminate them.
My word.
And that is another round that absolutely should not have happened.
Oh boy, that's just this is just beast, but that's just a ridiculous play from Automatic, just rushing in like that, getting 3 kills that round, picking up the op, and like, this is astounding. Enemy is going to be so incredibly upset that they're letting Complexity off the hook, because there have been so many mistakes by Complexity that should let them, or should have had them lose the match. It's unreal, and Enemy just keeps giving it back to him. So this is just a little bit unfortunate, but now just really backs against the wall. But this is where I'm not even sure if Complexity's won a gun round this half. They won pistol round, they've won 3 ecos at least. They might have won 1 gun round, which is just astounding to me.
So we'll see if this will be the final round here at this point. As you said, though, they've been having trouble on those gun rounds so far. Only a lot of eco rounds being stealing away here, and they've been very, very close, as you can see, all coming down to the wire for the most part here, with a couple exceptions here and there, and the only exception really being round 11. But beyond that, they've been almost just 2 or 1 player alive from Complexity almost every single time. So the economies remain weak, which has been a large part of the reason why we saw such these weak buys and a lot of those double saves that we had throughout the course of the half, but now they're fully armed here in what could possibly be the final round. Enemy as well, still with their guns, but it's somewhat limited on the utility part. However, they're going to pick up the opener there. Uber finding Sanks out in the open. Anomaly here trying to see if he can bait out some players to remain in the A side at the very least, as they haven't revealed their intentions. Again, another key factor. They got mid essentially for free here. They're going to check sandbags just to be safe, but now they can technically just take this right into B. I think they're a bit hesitant to do so, though. Now they should be able to move in, of course, as Kusta finding one and Uber picking up yet another, but Automatic holding inside CT main takes out both Skylar and Uber. Thankfully, they got A main control, and Mainline's already gotten a bomb here, so that plant should come out, and now it's just going to be Automatic left alive with 19 HP alive. He took out those 2. Not sure if he's going to find anything else, but this should be point 14 for Enemy.
Should be, but as we've learned in this match, anything can happen here. Actually, Automatic been spotted out, so he's feeling really uncomfortable about where he can go. But this is just like this defense from Complexity. When they have rifles for whatever reason, they're like playing like they have the pistols, and they're being aggressive, and they're taking these one-on-one duels that they don't have to take. So Enemy's just finding anything they want. And now, I mean, going into this last round, the money is going to be so tight on Complexity, but that's the round. Those are the rounds they win when they're basically saving. And now Automatic just trying to save this gun. Are they going to let him get away? He's going to get spammed by Anomaly.
Anomaly actually should have gotten him earlier there. He saw him go inside, but I think he was off angle at the time, so he didn't actually get the shot. So he obviously knew where he went to hide, so it was an easy pickup.
1 more eco round for the match.
If they take this, this will be... They actually have a decent amount of guns, so it's not horrible, but that could be the curse, to be completely honest. The fact that they have the Samas on this op, I don't know, man. We'll wait and see on this one, but Enemy still armed to the teeth at this point here, too. We'll wait and see what exactly happens at this point. Kusta's boosted up. He's looking for anything in mid, but obviously, as we know at this point, Complexity have been avoiding mid like the plague. Valens is going to work his way in here just to scout out some info. Not really committing to it. Ooh, that awning is going to save his life there as he's dropped to 8 HP as he gets hit with an up shot there. He's going to fall back. Won't be taking his chances on that anymore, but he does get the information that there hasn't been a lot of action happening inside of A, or apologies, inside of middle just yet. But, of course, Relics will find the opener. Sanks and Semphis get 2 more directly after that, though, and now we're in a 3-on-4 situation. Valens a little bit low, and Skylar going to drop another one from NME too, taking out Sempis as they work for control and trying to push over towards the B site, but Automatic still holding inside of the vents. He's going to be able to take down Kusta. And my GoTV is frozen, so Automatic not going to be able to pick up that kill there as they cross the team main entryway. But he's still lined up, ready to go with this flash, but NME taking it a lot slower and actually potentially going to put things in reverse here as they still have 45 seconds left, so they could swing this over to A, which might turn out to be the smarter choice. However, Complexity are very well aware of this, and they're keeping Sanks as a floater right now in the event that that does happen.
Yeah, they're slow playing a little bit to make sure the Opper can't, that they have to spread out this defense a little more. They can't cheat some player over for this B hit, so I mean, 25 seconds on the clock, they're still walking. They're kind of clearing, waiting for anyone to be pushed up, but they're going to run right into the AWP. And Relix is the one with the smoke, so the smoke's got to do a lot of work. Sanks is just over here behind the truck, and there it goes. It's deployed, but it's got a little bit too far, and that's a nice shot, a jumping shot onto Relix, and now he can grab the angle into the bomb site. He can let him plant and just be aggressive afterwards. Anomaly's got to get this down and win the 1-on-3 afterwards, but there's not much he can do. He picks up a smoke on the way in. Now he's going to drop it and just push forward. He grabs one. That's in the smoke, but he falls away, tries to reposition. He grabs the angle on the edge of the smoke, but Automatic's going to drop him, so that's going to be the end of the match. A very weird match in which Complexity wins more eco rounds than gun rounds in the second half.
And Complexity are just going to barely be able to scrape their way out of that one there, too. Very delicate CT half, which we almost saw go into the hands of NME and take us into overtime, but as we mentioned here, Complexity take the match 16-14 scoreline and to get on the 30th round, and they're going to win the first match here of Season 2 of the ESL ESEA Pro League. Our next match, guys, should be coming up here in just a little bit, and it is going to be the second Complexity match for this evening. It's going to be Complexity versus CLG, and that'll be on Overpass, guys, so stick around for that one, and we'll be right back with that match in just a few minutes.
Was just atrocious. Even their T side at times was just so reliant on Roka just soloing into that B bomb site. So I think this is a very dangerous match where they might just get stomped here.
So we go back into it here now, and the first pistol round is going to get started here in our first half. The push coming out from CLG. We'll see exactly how quick things are going to play out for these guys, but they do move in very quietly here to take the B site, and for some reason,
why?
Complexity caught with their pants down, running over to the A site. They find two. Finally, Valence turns around and picks up one, but exactly as you said, why the hell were they leaving the site?
Like, I don't understand. He's just like running around like there's no care in the world, as if nothing's even possible. So, I mean, there's some free entries onto the site. Tarek's in the pit, and he's going to goosh one. He gets tagged in return pretty heavily, but now the entries come out. This retake is on. It's a 3-on-3, but they've a lot of progress to go. Valence does have a kit. And he's entering into the site. He jumps over. He gets a nice kill on a Cutler, but there's Cutler behind the pillar, making something happen. It's all onto Hayes, and he's going to get a little bit smoked off. That's the bomb, so he's got to find this planter. He's got to rush through. He's got to be careful. He finds one, but it's the wrong one. Sanks is going to win it, and I do not know how Complexity pulls that out.
So there's Sanks, of course, coming up big, not only defusing the bomb, but able to pick up 3 kills in the process of that pistol round there. So went from an absolutely horrible round for Complexity to an absolutely horrible round for CLG as that got turned completely 180 degrees, and they're somehow able to steal that round away at the beginning despite the abysmal start there with everybody for some reason leaving the site to rotate to A.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But with the plant down, I mean, you can see no real investment for CLG. They do upgrade some pistols, but just one flashbang on a Tarek, so they're going to try and get a plant down. And that's about all they can hope for. They're going to go for a 3rd round buy with AK-47s.
So Cutler here going to move out. He does, unfortunately, not find Sanks, and FNS is going to get the response that was able to take him down very quickly, but they spot all these players now moving over towards Long A, so they are going to be able to quickly stop that, and I guess we'll see the change up here from CLG because they've been spotted out too. They'll either take it a lot slower or work for a little bit more of a dynamic play as they work their way inside of the bathrooms and over towards short A here as well. That'll be JDM scouting that out, but because they've left it open this entire time, they've got to be a little bit more careful here too. The exact reason we're seeing Sempis push forward now is there could be a lot of players in these positions. They don't want to take a chance on running into them and losing an excess amount of players, especially again with them still being at the very big gun disadvantage, but they do actually decide just to say screw it on the A push, and they'll go all the way back down inside the tunnels and try to work it towards B instead.
Yeah, and there are 2 players here from Complexity, Valence and Roka, just kind of manning the pit, playing a little bit of a retake, but without armor, they should be able to mow some players down very easily as they enter the bomb site. Valence even has a grenade. If they do happen to get into the bomb site, that can do a lot of damage and even prevent the plant. So there have to be some nice entries onto this bomb site. It's Tarek leading the way. He's going to swing wide. I don't even think they've seen them cross quite yet. Now they know they're in the site. 3 players for Complexity here. Here's a nice nade. Tarek's down so low, but it doesn't kill him, so they do get the plant. That's all they wanted. That's a victory for CLG.
And there's automatic there once again, finding another kill over here onto Hayes. He's trying to push up and looking for more, but now it's just him and one more teammate here trying to find JDM. He's going to succeed in doing so there with Semphis getting the calls on positions. FNS is the last one that gets spotted. And again, a last-minute retake there comes in at the hands of Complexity. Still plenty of time left for this defuse, so they will steal away that second round at the end. But heavy losses coming in with 3 players ending up going down. They're going to be able to re-scavenge their guns here. No saves from CLG, obviously, as they're all going to get eliminated. But still, with 3 players going down, with the investment we saw from Complexity, it's going to be a pretty big loss coming out of that second round.
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, look at this buy, and even JDM can get an AWP with light armor, so that could be a route that he's deciding it right now, hasn't quite chosen what he wants to do yet, but look at these nades as well. So JDM does get that AWP, but full nade kits for everyone on CLG, four Molotovs as well, 4 smokes. I mean, this is a huge buy.
They're going to go right for it here as they push their way up. We'll take a look at where exactly the push will come from. It'll split itself up for now as we've got the players number 6 and 8. That's Tarek and Cutler. Both going to work their way over and try to get towards water and then probably transition that to construction from there. More players working in the tunnel as well, but the bomb itself is actually still out in the open. You can see here that JDM is going to be looking for a push to come over from short A or somewhere in that angle and hopefully catch them off guard, and then he'll be the player that most likely falls back and regroups with them. More players looking towards short A too, going up through the stairs right now and going over to check Park at this point, but for the time being, not going to spot themselves out too early, but they're getting ready for this boost, and I'm sure they should be able to hear Valens jumping around. So that boost that's happening over here in water, probably getting slowed down a little bit because of that, because they don't want to boost right into his face and end up getting taken down because of that.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. So JDM does rotate back eventually, picks up the bomb. And it's going to be interesting to see where FNS and Hayes decide to go. They're going to have to meet up with their teammates, come out short. The defense is a little bit weak. Once again, Valen's playing a little bit of a retake. Roka playing over at the Toxic Barrels, but no pressure put on anywhere from CLG. They did push up those stairs and clear out bathrooms, and here comes this hit onto the B bomb site.
Now they're going to roll in here. Valen's going for the blind fire there with the M4 now, trying to see if he can find anybody out, but nobody coming in through construction as of yet. Most of them coming in through Monster. FNS holding the flank right now in case anybody comes in through Connector, but Valen's is going to get found out by Hayes. Was able to see him there just over by the poles. He's hung in that one. The plant coming up from Hayes, almost completely uncontested here too, as we see Complexity trying to find their way in here for a retake, but it's just not panning out at all. Cutler finding one here too. Clears out the pit. Now they have no control of the site whatsoever, and there's JDM with the op doing some work here. Hayes getting lit heavily. He's going to find Semphis before he finally gets dropped by Sanks, but it only leaves Sanks as the last player alive here. Still fragging though as he picks up one, gets the location of Tarek, but Tarek knows where he is now, so he gets him through the wood panels there, takes him down with a headshot, and CLG finally steal away around here on round number 3.
Yeah, really good execution. Once they get that first kill and they take that bomb site, I mean, you could kind of see it. Valens and Roka were playing in positions where they couldn't really assist each other, so that first kill forces Roka to play so passively in the water pit and wait for rotations, but either way, Complexity, I mean, once they get the bomb planted, it's coordinated aggression into water. They overtake that before the rotations can really come in. And now they force, because of the damage they did on that second round, they force an immediate save out of Complexity, some upgraded P250s and 5.7s, but that's all CLL has to work with.
And Semphis again, going to be jump peeking over here by the flower box today long, trying to see if he can catch anybody out here, but won't be finding them initially and moves back now that he hears that flash. Going to take a safe position over by the corner and wait for that push to come out from CLG. The rest of the roster pretty spread out here too. One inside birthday party. JDM looking for that aggression inside of the bathrooms instead. One more inside of the tunnels as well, trying to see if anybody comes inside. He might find somebody in a second as Roka's going to push for it. Completely off angle to FNS though, so he's going to get a free kill essentially there. And Hayes actually, Semphis playing the ninja role there, sneaks around Hayes by the flower pot and is able to take him down. So there's another kill scored by Complexity. They get the response to the earlier one scored over on Roka. But now as well here, they have to some degree revealed their intentions. But with the kills happening in such separate locations, it actually should mask the illusion as to what's really happening, which is this push coming down here in Valens. Oh my goodness, Valens hasn't made a sound. He snuck through. He's inside the smoke, and the smoke should still have a decent amount of time to go. Moves out, trying to get it, but I think the planting hitbox still isn't the best there, so
yeah, he's my first thought as well.
So FNS is going to be able to take him down, and that's not going to stop the plant from coming out. And now we see the CTs trying to move in. Still a 3-on-3. Cutler, JDM, and Tarek are alive for these players, but Cutler lit heavily, but he's kind of out of Dodge's way for now, and overall the setup here from CLG looking very good, but Sanks finds the way in, able to pick up one as he eliminates Tarek. They're working their way in here, and CLG, nice passive play for the time being, but now they're going to move it on to JDM. Cutler, though, using this opportunity to flank up onto them, and JDM overexposes, can't get the kill, but he actually still comes out on top with 1 HP, and they've wasted so much time at this point that they're going to win this round. A little bit careful here on Cutler and JDM. Cutler makes it out with 1 HP, but unfortunately, JDM, his teammate, is going to be a little bit too close to the explosion there, so he's going to go down, but still, Counterlogic Gaming come out on top of the round, and they'll tie things up now.
I mean, this is Complexity's eco rounds are doing some damage. And both these matches now, they almost look better than their gun rounds. But that time with 4 kills, and even Cutler had to scramble to save that AWP there at the end. Either way, another solid buy out of CLG in this round, and not a great one out of Complexity, but I mean, this is the first real gun round we're going to see. That third round kind of had some FAMAs, some light nades, some SMG, so we're going to see how this plays out. You can see that Complexity is getting aggressive over towards bathrooms early on, pushing up a little bit, trying to find some information, do some early damage before falling back. And this time, CLG is going to go right at him. 3 players heading out towards long A.
They'll work themselves over there right now, trying to see if Automatic can catch anything there. Once again, just playing the default position, but overall beyond this, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Valen's trying to see if he can catch anybody that could potentially be over outside connector and water right now too, but the action is definitely going to be happening towards the A site, as we had already mentioned here. CLG, FNS just trying to make some noise back over there and hopefully catch a couple of those players off guard, but won't be happening as of yet. No damage scored onto either of them. Now CLG, they're going to make the move over here, and a little bit of trouble working their way through long. Hayes just taking it nice and slow. He's got to be careful of Automatic. Perfectly timed smoke, though, but it's actually a little bit to the right here, and he is going to be able to sneak through off of that, but the smoke ends up working out, as Automatic's going to be able to find the frag. JDM gets the response earlier on, though, as he's also able to take down Sanks. Well, apologies, he's able to take down Hayes there, so now we see JDM picking up a second one there too, taking down Sempus, and Cutler moving in too, but that Molly's still blocking him off too. The smoke's going to fade though, and that opens the wayside, so now Cutler, he can pick up another kill going over onto Automatic. They've got the site control. Plant's going to come out here in just a moment. It'll be Valens and Roka trying to go for a retake, but again, the odds not looking too good, especially since Valens pushes in a little bit too early and doesn't really get a whole lot of intel out of that play either.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. The Molotov actually hit Valens. Roka's going to win that duel. Peeks up, can't win the second one, so he's forced to slow things down. 1-on-3, and nade comes out, doesn't get any kills. He might just want to think about saving at this point. That clock's dwindled. It's ticking for quite some time now, so Roka pushing up the bank stairs. Not going to be able to find anything, and he's just going to run away, not even expose himself to any kind of gunfire. But a nice win from CLG. Hayes gets eliminated over towards long, but Cutler had a really, really nice sequence with his nades there to take that A bomb site all on his own. And a nice entry into the site opens things up for everyone. So third round for CLG. Immediately, once again, Complexity's money gets reset.
And with that reset coming out here once again now, we see that Complexity not really going to be able to, with the exception of Roka, go for anything significant here in this round. CLG still sitting at a very, very strong buy, of course, and with them saving as many players as they were able to keep going there, it's still going to help to build up the money a little bit more, at least as far as the T side is concerned. But a couple players were still sitting at a point where they could go for their rebuys. Of course, Roka still able to get everything he needs, of course, because he had saved the M4, but beyond that, really nothing else is going to be gained here. Sanks and Sempus go for the $500 pistol upgrade, but Automatic's the only other player that's going to buy anything as he goes for a P250. But pushing through, Roka finds the opener, and they're taking up very aggressive positions here too, pushing over towards the fountain. Automatic also positioned outside of playground, so as far as CLG is concerned, they're not going to go anywhere without a fight anytime soon.
Yeah, this is terrible. Once again, these Zika rounds, JDM and Hayes both pick one off. They even things up, but there's so much pressure up towards this fountain. You got to be very careful. Sanks is right against the wall. There's also Automatic in the corner. He gets pop flash though. Nicely done from Hayes. Got to clear behind him. He checks, but he gets eliminated. And still, Tarek is so far away, not being involved in the action whatsoever, not able to help his teammates out. JDM is all on his own, and he gets the kill. He does get dinked, but now he's got to meet up with Tarek. They've got to come up with a game plan, because Sempus has an AK-47, and JDM's basically a free kill at this point. 40 seconds left on the clock.
And we'll see Sempus here trying to hold things off, not going to be able to catch Tarek, and that'll put a very, very quick end to the round, of course, with CLG once again coming out on top and taking a pretty big advantage here in this round. But now with that save coming off here at the hands of Complexity, going to be able to resume their buys pretty quickly and hopefully stand a better chance against the CLG offense at this point now with the big guns in their way.
Yeah, the question's going to be where Sempus is going to go with this AWP. Looks like he wants to go out towards long. And he's going to do it solo as well, so he's just going to stay back by the raised flowers and just see what he can... Nope, he's going to continue to push. No, he's just going to get on top of it. So it doesn't really matter because the entire CLG lineup is geared over towards this B bomb site. Looks very, very quick. Tarek, they're just going to push up catwalk right through the smoke over towards Sand. And drops the head off of Valens. The player's coming through. Roka's on top of the toxic bosses. He's hidden by a smoke, but... they need to find these guys. Cutler's not even going to check anything. He's just going to go for the plant. Is anyone covering him? Yes, he does. Automatic trying to spray his way to the bomb site. He's got to drop into water and wait for his teammates to arrive.
Now Automatic again, looking to see if he can catch anybody. Still humping over towards the bomb, but it's not going to happen. Hayes finding another one here too. Finding Roka as he tries to overexpose himself, working over under the tracks and into the canal, but not going to work out here. And now even Automatic tries to push far out into the open though, but it seems that unfortunately for them, Roka did not get the info as to just how many players from CLG were sitting here in canals at the moment. Nonetheless, those Sanks still playing from within inside the pit himself, manages to steal away one more, but that seems like it might be all they managed to get. Sempus grabbing one more kill, but the timer way too far gone, so he's got to sit back now, catch anybody that he can can on the exit, which isn't going to be anybody else. One player does die to the explosion, I believe, but beyond that, still, we're looking at JDM and FNS getting away with this round, and it'll be close, but I think Semphis is just going to be able to escape his fate there, as we'll see FNS not being able to find Semphis in time.
Yeah, no surprise here. They're going to force buy behind this. Semphis drops a gun over and picks up some light armor with that AWP, but they're going to have three FAMASes, excuse me, and an M4 behind that op. So no, one kit on automatic as he picks it up right at the end, but pretty light on utility. So once again, CLG, they've got to expect this to be coming, but they have a huge advantage. And once again, setting up in this default, JDM watching for any pushes over towards the fountain. Two players taking short together. They're going up against that FAMAS. Tarek wins the initial battle against Valence. He's brought very, very low, and there's an automatic pushed up. He gets traded off. Cutler, in the meanwhile, has found one. So very, very quickly, 4-on-2 for CLG.
Sanks again push forward here as well, trying to see if he can catch anybody out. If he moves over towards the stairs, he might have a good chance in a battle, but we'll see FNS trying to push up there a little bit, and Sanks' attention has been diverted to this, so he might be able to catch this push coming a little bit, but unfortunately for him, the rest of the team definitely not on their ways over to the site at this point. Actually, falling back is going to be JDM with the bomb. I think at this point, really just trying to catch in case there's a wide flank attempt coming out from somebody from Complexity, but it's not really the case for now, and Complexity just taking their time just to avoid any unnecessary kills. And there's Roka moving in. He catches one, finds the bomb carrier, but unfortunately only gets a 1-for-1 trade, and that leaves his only teammate still left through Sanks in a 1-on-3 scenario, which, again, with the limited intel he has at this point, and especially with how much time he's giving CLG, there's going to be a very minimal chance for him to clutch that out. So more than likely looking at him just taking up an exit position and looking to find those frags and save that M4 for the next round.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do here. And in that kind of a situation, I mean, I'd like to see those last remaining players kind of group up and just gamble together and, you know, see if you can hold a bomb site 2-on-4 or just, you know, save your guns after that if they don't go to your site. So either way, those, no matter what bomb site CLG had chosen, they would have been in a 4-on-1, which is pretty advantageous to them. But either way, this is 6 straight rounds for CLG. The economy for Complexity is in shambles. They do have the full losing bonus, but next round, they're going to have to save here.
Another thing to keep in mind here, too, is the side advantage here that Complexity should have going into this, and with us seeing this monster streak, we just can't let Complexity continue to drop these rounds. They've got to try to keep things close and try to string together a couple more of these rounds, otherwise we'll be looking at CLG having an enormous advantage coming out of the half on what is arguably the lesser advantage side, and that's going to look even worse for when Complexity switch up that side and go on, where it could potentially be harder for them to work with.
Oh, well, I say they have to save, and of course, Semphis calls a force pipe, so they're fully bought out. Once again,
now back to the old school.
Yeah. 5 rifles with that losing bonus, but once again, only 1 kit, very light nades, so the big thing they're going to have to do is manage some early aggression. They don't have the utility to really slow it down, so they have to win some initial battles, and luckily CLG playing this a little bit slower. This is just their default, 2 players towards stairs, 2 players taking short very, very quickly. But there's not a lot of tools that Complexity has to run the clock down.
And Complexity again here, just keeping it nice and safe for now. Sanks did push forward a little bit, but he's a little cautious of something coming out towards him from long. There's an attempt from CLG to push forward and get info on what's inside bathroom, but beyond that, they don't actually press forward. So Sanks not going to have that killer flank he was looking for. There might be a false sense of security from CLG coming up from Connector, but I imagine still with all the time that's been given in the very wide area that Complexity could still be hiding out at, they'll still have somebody watching out for that. Valen's jumping over. He actually, I don't believe he catches anything from that jump over too, so once again, the all clear probably going to get called out there from Complexity's sake. Now the push is on though, and they've got to get in the way to defend this, otherwise CLG are going to move in here, and the flash is so detrimental now. Complexity can't see anything, and they're moving in, but Roka going to be right in the way, finding one, looking for a second here, and this will hold it back for now. He's dropped to 12 HP and jumps up, tries to go over there and surf, but not going to work out too well. Hazel will get the trade and brings it down once again. But Valens, along with Automatic, still over here on the site at this point. Valens is going to be able to drop Hayes down as they push themselves up onto the site, bringing it into a 3-on-4, but FNS finds the trade again. Now we're back into a 3-on-3, and Automatic hiding in the corner, but FNS pushes forward. He finds one. Automatic close, though. He's able to take that trade once again as we continue to remain close in this matchup at 2-on-2. Cutler goes for the slow peek, and Automatic can't adjust the spray in time, so now they're a man up here, and Sanks, unfortunately, still way up in heaven. The odds of him clutching this out just go lower and lower, and we'll probably be looking at CLG coming out on top once again with a 7-2 scoreline.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to go for it. There is a kit dropped somewhere in the bomb site or in the vicinity of it, but still not a lot of time to play with. Going to try and jump over, but he stops it short. Can't even take...
Unfortunately, that play happens a little bit too slowly there, as he also, in addition, of course, having the difficulty finishing off that one player, wasn't really able to catch the location of the second one, so makes it a lot more difficult, of course, for it to come out on top for him, and because he was already committed to the site, there was really no option for a retreat anyway. So he's going to get taken down there, and once again, CLG come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, this is that's so unfortunate because Sanks, I mean, you had that play correctly. He pushed up in the bathrooms. He had so much intel. They had 4 players at the B bomb site. If you can't defend that site with 4 people, like, there's really not much you can do in this map. So, I mean, that's just kind of atrocious from Complexity. Not hitting their shot. Nicely done from CLG.
And pushing up here is going to be Sanks along with some more of his teammates. Automatic actually going to find the opener, and it catches CLG completely off guard here. Hayes tries to hold the angle, and he succeeds in doing so. He's going to be able to take down Sanks, and this, regardless though, he's going to push CLG back closer to their spawn now. They're going to be able to branch out, of course, because we don't see a whole full push coming out from Complexity just as yet, and Hayes there catches Automatic completely as a statue, as he did get flashed there and didn't really know what to expect after that, so not a whole lot he could have done there besides just hide behind the rock and hope he doesn't go for him. But CLG, after we do see that early aggression coming out from Complexity and it nets them a kill to color, it gets quickly corrected back into CLG's favor, and they now sit a man up against them at this point, and Hayes adding another one onto the ticker there as he takes out Sempus, trying to work his way up there to take down Hayes. Hopefully a little off guard, but not going to be happening as they're now waiting for more aggression to come out, which at this point in a 2-on-4 definitely won't be happening, so it should be safe for CLG to push towards the site at this point.
Yeah, but there's no reason for them to rush. There's still 35 seconds left on the clock, and they're so far away, so they can actually just slow play this. Now, Complexity, these 2 remaining players, Valens and Roka, are sticking together. This is what I wanted to see last time, so they have the right read. They're going to gamble onto this A bomb site, and what this hit comes in, I mean, this is their best chance at winning it. Here come the Molotovs in the execution.
And pushing in now, Hayes not really getting any intel just yet. The slow peek comes out there from Roka. He's going to be able to find one. Valens gets the second. They're both revealed, and Roka chains up another one. And as well, JDM, a great hold from Complexity, and they just shut it down there. Great patient play, and CLG had no idea how to counter that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect play from Complexity. A nice crossfire setup, but a little bit disappointed in CLG. They had so much more utility to use. They only threw 1 Molotov and 1 flashbang and then hit the bomb site. There's so much more they could have done. It just seems like with the clock dwindling down, they didn't realize the utility they had left, and they get punished for it. So nicely done from Complexity. A little bit of a goof from CLG, but either way, a great chance to reset the economy. They rattled off 7th straight now, and Complexity cannot afford to drop around right now. And this is back to that fast B play.
And here we go again. Molly's going to hold them up for a couple extra seconds, but still definitely, as you said, committing to this at this point. However, take a look at Semphis in a great flanking position right now, and nobody else on the flank inside of lower tunnels, so the second they move anybody from construction to that site, they're going to get caught. Roka also finding the opener, and there's Semphis picking up another one there, now using that up from inside connector, and Roka jumped up on top here behind the plant area. In addition to Semphis picking up FNS back over there, it just gets completely shut down as Complexity with that absolutely murderous setup here on the B site do not give CLG anything at all in that round.
Yeah, that's the difference in how that defense worked out, is they're able to get those early kills. They manage the early aggression towards that bomb site. They hold strong. Roka gets a kill. Semphis gets a kill. And from there, no one overextends. They let CLG enter into the bomb site. That's a defense that we haven't really seen on this bomb site, you know, in previous times when CLG's hit it. So nice adjustment made by Complexity. Now they have their 4th round. They forced a save out of CLG, and they can, you know, close the gap a little bit.
We'll see another aggressive round here coming out of the hands of Complexity too. They smoke themselves off here, so they're not actually going to continue pushing through at this point, but still taking up those forward positions. It does go further towards more what we would expect from a default at that point, but Semphis again on top of the flower pot, finding one, trying to connect the second, but troubles with that one, and now, after that push has come out, it's time to fall back. Sanks, in the meantime, going to be able to do a little bit more work here too, and Semphis continuing to take these pot shots here, and finds 2 more there too, so he gets a big round, 3 kills for him, and it leaves it all in the hands of FNS at this point, at which won't be expecting too much, although he does find 1, but there's Sanks waiting for him at the top of the steps to close it out for Complexity once again, and now we see that here, Complexity with a very solid defense. Took them a while to get it going here, but now they seem to have their wits about them and have been shutting down these 3 rounds in a row, and pretty consistently too.
Yeah, but back onto weapons, and as well, JDM's going to have that AVP, so it'll be interesting if he's going to try and challenge Semphis over at the A bomb site, if they're going to call something more towards the B bomb site. I'd like to see them just take control of bathrooms early on, very, very quickly, and then just slow things down from there, see what they can find out of that. But they're going to go back towards their default, where JDM's just going to watch for a push up towards Party and towards Fountain. 2 players down into the sewers for the doorway, and 2 players over towards Short.
Cutler again looking for those jumps to come out there from Complexity over on the B site. Won't be able to catch anybody, although he does spot one of the players there. However, again, CLG very, very slow in their movement here, very slow to move about the map because of this aggression that we have been seeing from Complexity so far throughout this entire half. The only player that's really going for it this round, though, as we actually speak of that, is Sanks at this point, but to be honest, he's actually in a pretty preserved position right now, just trying to get the smokes. He was pushed up a little bit further a few seconds ago, but he gets hit with a flash now, and as we see the rest of CLG, they're actually going to regroup here, and although it did look like they wanted to go down connector and then into B again, now with everybody routing their way back over into the tunnels and then outside here into the park, it's been switched up, and now they're going to be going for an A push, but they'll keep FNS back here as well, just toss a couple nades onto the site and try to keep players that are there over there and hopefully get a fake rotation or 2 there as well.
Yeah, they've hit this B bomb site so much, now they're switching it back towards A, so Complexity might be found out a little bit, but there's Semphis with a nice kill over towards Long, equalized by Hayes, who takes down Sanks. Now it's just Semphis. He's got to hold out for some time. Actually, Automatic has rotated over very quickly, even Valence is here now, so a pretty solid defense, but Complexity can't really fall back. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to move forward and hit this site, and they don't have very many utilities to do it.
They're going to go for this right now. Smoke comes out back over here on T, steps up onto the A site, and or apologies, CT steps up onto the A site. Automatic does have a little bit of room to work through with that, but he would have to overexpose himself.
Oh my god, that one shot by FNS has caused a full rotation. There's no one at the A site. What is Complexity doing? How do they bite that hard on this fake? That's a free bomb site for CLG. This should not have happened.
And now they're going to rotate all the way back up. Semphis, though, opening the gates once again as he takes down Hayes, but we also see here now that CLG should get a pretty good idea of where this retake is going to be coming from as they've all rotated back down to B, as you just said. Valen's going back up too. He's got a small angle on a Turk, but it's Semphis that closes out the kill to him. Finds another one as he takes down FNS. Valen's pushing forward 2 to 4 JDM out so they can just get this defuse, and they should be able to get it without too much trouble here as Automatic finally takes down JDM, and although again, as you said, they made that big mistake on over-rotating, thankfully they were able to keep everybody alive for the retake, and that went very, very clean, especially with the assistance coming in there from Semphis being a monster with the op once again.
Yeah, they're very, very fortunate, but I mean, that wasn't even a fake. That was just FNS trying to pick off a rotator. He takes three shots. I guess because the clock was dwindling down so low, Complexity just felt a little bit more pressure, but basically 3 fired bullets at the B bomb site caused a full evacuation of A, and that almost gave the round up.
CLG again splitting themselves up a little bit more this time, of course, but there will be a small battle happening inside Connector itself. Smoke's coming out from both ways. Automatic going to push up here. Neither can find each other. Actually, Automatic lining up the shot. Roka, too, goes for that same overpeak that he's looked for quite a few times, and inside Connector itself, as FNS and Automatic are running into each other. They didn't realize it until their flashes faded, but it looks like FNS will come out on top of that one. Valens again, though, picking up 2 for himself as he gets a nice double spray, so they managed to rally it back into their favor. JDM is going to be the last one alive with an AK. Kind of caught in a rock in a hard place right now, but he might find a way to wiggle out of it here.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful from JDM. This is a chance here, but he can't win that battle. Sanks is aware of it. If he gets that kill and he just bootlegs it over towards the A bomb site, he's got a free plant and a good chance at a 1-on-2, but nice awareness from Sanks, not letting his guard down. So 7-7 now after dropping 7 straight rounds. Complexity has evened things up, so a nice recovery from them, and last round of the half now, pretty weak buy out of CLG.
Yeah, no utility at all here, but overall, as you can see, only 2 flashes of smoke and a nade, mostly at the hands of JDM at this point, too, so basically they're just going to have to go, for the most part,
go
off Dragon Tower.
B-rush, basically.
So they're going to go right for it here, working their way in, mainly through Monster. They'll split it up a little bit here just to try and get a little bit more of a dynamic play into this, but Roka along with Valens, they'll be the stars here from Complexity to try and defend this, and won't actually be an outright rush. They're going to hold back a little more, but that's only going to hurt them more than it helps them here now, because Valens is able to get that smoke. There's a little bit of room to see through, but I don't think anybody can actually utilize that unless they move into it. Roka and Hayes will trade blows there at the start, and moving through, Cutler actually catches Valens moving into the smoke. A little bit unfortunate that Valens was not able to pick up one of those there, as he had the stealth advantage at that point, but it's not going to pay off here. And once again, they managed to get into that site. They're going to be a man up, but that immediately gets destroyed by Sanks, who finds 1 kill. Automatic picking up a second, and once again the gaps continue to close. FNS takes a big hit, and Semphis switching over to the other gun to close it out over there on Hayes, or apologies, over on FNS, and now it just leaves Hayes as the last player alive, which Automatic and Sanks will double team that one too. Complexity will get the defuse off here, and they're going to take the advantage coming out of the first half. Very, very close, of course, as you mentioned. CLG taking it very, very strong in the early portions of it, but Complexity with a great round back there in the later portions and able to actually take the advantage here at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, CLG is going to be pretty upset that they let that slip away. 6 straight for Complexity there to close out the half. There were actually some good situations from CLG where they got the bomb planted, just some of the post-plant positioning was atrocious. Semphis had way too many picks on retakes. Just players caught out in the open, just easy picking for that AWP. Either way, 8-7. I mean, that's a despite everything that's just been said, that's a pretty decent half for CLG on the Terra side of Overpass. So moving in, they still have the advantage in this matchup. It all remains to be seen how strong is the CT side going to come out.
If we look at it purely from a statistical perspective, it unfortunately would have been the better half there for Complexity. Thankfully, they were able to keep it close. But I mean, and again, we haven't really seen a whole lot of play as of yet on Overpass from Complexity. But from what we have seen, they were only sitting at about a 3% T-side win rate and a 47% CT win rate. So unfortunately, the stats aren't going to be too helpful here because, again, it lines up. But we just, obviously, again, just if it continues to line up that way, then we'll have to see them come out in a big way here on the T side to come out, because that does appear to be their weaker side, just looking at it that way. But with the way they were playing in their earlier matchup, too, that could also kind of throw things off a little bit.
Yeah, CLG, I mean, they've had some good matches on this map. within the North American region. So, I mean, this is a map they're no slouches on. That T side, they had a heavy emphasis on that B bomb side. They really didn't touch that A site or find too much success over at it whatsoever. So that you could kind of see once Complexity, I mean, stopped that B push. That T side out of CLG was very, very one-dimensional. And that's kind of what allowed them to make that comeback at the end. But either way, here comes a fast B play from Complexity. 3 players going over towards short, a 4th player as well, so they're going to slow down here. Valens has the utility. He's got the smoke, flash, nade. But that's all they have, basically.
They, again, take it very slowly here, just trying to see if they can catch anybody through the pallet. Won't be happening as of yet, as, again, they only end up revealing one of their players at least, and Hazed should have just seen everybody there on that jump, and he does, as Complexity is completely overexposed, so the rotations are going to come off here very early indeed. FNS also picking off one to start things off. Cutler moving in. He finds a second one here to close it out now, as that offensive just goes nowhere. They do manage to sneak in the plant, but it's not going to go anywhere beyond that. Automatic sitting inside of the smoke, trying to hide, but it doesn't pay off at all. Hazed catches him the second he moves outside of that. They will sneak through with the plan, which is a little bit of a victory for them, because if they can do a nice amount of damage coming up into this next round here, the third round bye they'll inevitably probably end up going for is going to be that much stronger. But if they can't do that, then it kind of gets tossed by the wayside, as all they'll get is a little bit of an earlier gun round in the play.
Yeah, I mean, FNS wins him that round. He stands in fire. The Molotov came right towards the ramp that he was standing in. He stands in the fire for a couple seconds and just gets a nice one tap, and then falls back and even gets one more kill as that take comes in. So he does a really, really good job of neutralizing the threat. Either way, like you said, this is where it gets scary, because Complexity had some great eco rounds against NME in the first matchup. If they can do some damage here, you're exactly right. That third round bye, much like CLG's, will be a lot more effective.
And to start it off here on the push from Complexity, they actually take the long A angle here, which is a little bit surprising considering what they're working with here. Might have wanted to go for the shorter battles, but they do decide to push their way up there. 4 players going for it, and Automatic, of course, comparatively to Roka, who was the lurker on the previous matchup, they're going to leave Automatic to do it, at least here on this eco round, as he tries to, at the very least, sell this fake back over here towards the B side, and if not that, at least keep the 2 players here from CLG in that B side at the moment, that being Hazed and FNS, but they're moving so slowly, all 4 of them at the moment, working their way up through long A. And Tarek, more than likely, will be the player to face check this first. He spots him out, gets about half the damage down on Oroka, but the big thing is that he spotted all these players push again, same as last round, so now they can get this early rotation off, and not only that, but most of them are up here to begin with, so it's going to be a pretty easy shutdown, I do believe, and won't be seeing Complexity go anywhere with that round. CLG shut it down with no trouble whatsoever, and nobody dying at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's the curious part. Like you said, why are they going towards long with these pistols? Like, Tarek has that M4. They had 2 M4s in that A-bomb site, such long range to have those pistols out. And they just kind of get mowed down as they enter into that choke point, all 4 of them. So, nice defense from CLG, no damage dealt, but the buy's going to come on anyways. They only have 1 smoke to work with, 4 flashbangs as well. So this is a pretty weak third round buy out of Complexity here. And look at the aggression from CLG. Tarek and one other player, they're pushing up towards long. That's JDM. They're getting real aggressive. Tarek might be able to pick one off, and he doesn't. He gets punished by Sanks. That's a good find. Now it's just JDM all isolated at this close rock. And what's he going to be able to do? Cephas comes around the corner, and he gets the kill out of JDM as well, so immediately a 5-on-3 for Complexity.
And they take a huge advantage of this one, already pushing up onto the A side here too. 2 on there. Hayes will have to try and hold as the pop flash comes out, but not going to work out the way he wants it to. The high one's going to move out here too, and just comboing the nades left and right. He's going to get blinded, so it does let Valens move in, but a nade to the face onto Valens there, along with that damage coming in for Cutler, is going to be able to shut him down. Semphis, though, with a nice headshot, though, on the way into the A site, finds one, and FNS there, not able to pick up exactly what he needs, so Automatic is going to be able to turn that right back around and find him. Cutler gets one more pickup there before he eventually gets taken down by Automatic. At the end of it, Complexity once again will come out on top with that round due to the earlier kills that they managed to get back over by long.
Yeah, I mean, that push from CLG's got to be much more effective. They've basically lost the round at that point. So much time for Complexity to basically do whatever they want. And just Tarek getting dropped immediately. He's having a little bit of a rough game, actually. 9-11. He's been playing so well for them recently, but he's off to a slow start here at the bottom of the scoreboard. And they might actually, they're going to need him to step it up if they want to take this game. Him and JDM. JDM's right down there as well, 10-9. Those are basically their 2-star players that get massive amounts of frags for him, and they're both playing very, very poorly.
Finesse is going to once again get this early spot here, but can't hold it very well at all with just the absolutely zero investment he's had going into this round. Sanks will take him down. Now they're pushing up to the site, but Hayes holding stalwartly. He's able to pick up another kill there with the Deagle. Takes down Sanks, so we'll get the trade at least. Unfortunately, though, with the kill that already happened earlier on to FNS, they'll still be a man up at this point. And Automatic watching the flank, too. Might be able to catch at least one, but no, Tarek consistent there with the P250, and Automatic a little bit messy with his spray. They're going to be able to find one of them with that. And Valen's here too, looking for that push to come outside of heaven. Won't be happening, but already in a very good position to counter out the eventual push that we'll see from CLG, so not really expecting too good on the retake from them. JDM may be able to catch something out here with this AK, but now comes Semphis with a surprise moving over there. Huge flank coming around from Monster, taking out 2, and now any attempt that they would have been able to make here for this retake has pretty much been nullified, and Cutler just looking for exits through connector, through construction, I should say, at this point.
Yeah, it's a nice play from Semphis to make sure they can't get any more damage and can't save that AK-47. So Cutler's just got to bail. He's not going to find anything. 2 kills, not bad. Keeping the economy a little bit low, but now CLG's going to buy, and they're going to have to start putting some work in on these gun rounds. Complexity's grabbed the lead one more time at 10-9. And still, no, actually, this is where the AWP gets brought out. So JDM does just have enough money to buy the AWP and the light armor with no helmet. So, I mean, this is where he gets a little bit dangerous. He struggles at times when he can't afford that AWP in his hands. That's why at times you see CLG just saving rather than buy up, because he's such a force with it. But outside of that AWP, his rifles are a little bit weaker. Now a heavy play over towards the B bomb site. They know the utilities are low. They know there's going to be no Molotovs out towards Monster. And they're just going to push aggressively. FNS gets into the duel. Him and Cutler win the first one. Now they've got to fall back and stay alive as long as possible. But FNS gets isolated at toxic boxes and forced out by the Molotov. This is a great B take so far by Complexity.
And everybody else rotating in with the exception of Hayes at this point, but he's under fire here too. A lot of nades coming up, but they don't spot him, and Semphis way out in the open. Hayes is going to be able to steal a kill away from that one. Gets the intel on at least 2 out of the 3 remaining players here, and is going to be able to execute upon one of them too. Taking down Roka. Valen's finally picking up something else here for Complexity, but Hayes moving up there, and Valen's actually finding a second too. Not going to be able to punish him in time. Hayes doesn't want to take the risk on overexposing himself there. Tries to get the adjustment in time, but not going to happen as they both push up, and Complexity will be able to steal that round away. The retake was looking good for a time, but once again, the action that had happened earlier in the round pretty much made up for that little bit of an issue there, and managed to solidify things for Complexity later on in the round to bring it up to 9-11 now as they take the lead in the second half here.
Yeah, I mean, Hayes bails him out with a couple nice kills, slows that hit down, I mean, puts him in a 3-on-2 situation. Just from there, the rotations are so ineffective. They just get punished. One player coming up short eliminates both of them, and Hayes is just kind of wondering where all of his teammates fell. So a very aggressive B take by Complexity. Now it forces another save out of CLG. This is looking really, really good for coL.
And Complexity again now, splitting themselves up. Trying to see if there's going to be any aggression now, just because of the fact that CLG are going to be on an eco, and they might try to get a little bit bold off of this. It's actually happening through lower tunnels right now, and I don't believe Complexity are going to be expecting that. The problem, of course, is now what we're seeing here from the bomb carrier is he could actually get caught out, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Now they've got the bomb on the floor, and if they can get others to support that and hold that for the time being, then they could actually do a lot of damage. However, Semphis now picking up another one, and for some reason, FNS is blind there. Doesn't actually see Automatic sitting over there in that corner, and he's not only going to pick up FNS, but he finds Tarek too, so a huge getaway there, as that should have been an easy kill for FNS, but he gets caught completely off guard by that, and now CLG's been reduced to nothing again.
Yeah, this is tough. Cutler's rotating back over towards the A bomb site. He does have that CZ. Automatic's the one who's so far away. No damage in him really falling, and Cutler can't spot Roko. Just pops his head up and gets a free kill. Hayes still sticking around this B bomb site. But really, yeah, there's just not much for anything from CLG to do in this round, so it's going to be another win for Complexity, 12-9 now.
Hayes is just honestly at this point looking to run and maybe line himself up for a nice shot or two. He was in a good position to maybe find Automatic, but I don't think he realized just how close he was to him. Obviously, again, he doesn't have X-rays, so can't really realize that. But now he's actually going to find this AK. So if he can stay alive, then it's going to be good. Unfortunately, rounding this corner in a second, going to be right behind him is Automatic, and that kills the dreams of saving that one as he's way out in the open. So they take him down. They win the round there just by taking him out. No saves once again for CLG. And heading into this one, they'll be able to get their bye anyway, but still wouldn't have hurt to have that extra AK, as it would have not really had you buy that full rifle and could have saved quite a bit of cash had you not had to do that.
Yeah, no, they would have loved to have that as well. They probably would have loved to have some more damage out. This bank now on Complexity is pretty strong, so it's getting really scary coming into the end of this matchup now. Complexity with 12 rounds. And really, it's JDM hasn't been able to get into the game with this AWP. They haven't really come towards him, so he has no effect in the early portions. And then look, I mean, this is just Hayes just falling. There's no response. There's no coordinated aggression. That's a nice kill from Sanks.
And based off of this here too now, Complexity just going to hang back, wait to see if there's any response. But as you said, there's no response at all here from CLG at this point. So they're going to be able to get a free kill off of that one. And in a few moments here, I'm sure they're going to execute another one getting away for free there too. Automatic is going to be able to steal a kill. He takes down Tarek, and already here, Two of the bigger players here from CLG are faltering. They're going to try to find it, but FNS again looking the complete wrong way. Roka's going to be able to steal a kill onto him, and this has been three essentially free kills being gained here by the Complexity players. We've seen no response from CLG onto any of them, and Cutler and JDM, I highly doubt are even going to attempt this. Cutler almost gets caught off guard too, and to be completely honest, at the end of that, he kind of did. So Automatic getting another one on the flank there. He takes down Cutler, and it's just JDM on the run now.
Yeah, he has to save this op. I mean, this op is really their only chance at coming back into this, because CLG's just getting beaten up and down the server at the moment. They're losing every early battle, and from there, Complexity, I mean, you can see once Complexity's aggression, just they keep up the pace, they keep swinging wide into these bomb sites, and the defense is so thin. You see FNS trying to hold whatever he can, trying to push up catwalk, but the timing just doesn't work in his favor.
So Complexity getting themselves armed to possibly steal away the second victory and get a little bit of an upset going here to start things off. They're only 3 rounds away from doing it here, and we are going to see another buy-up coming up at the hands of CLG as they have it on that full losing bonus for some time now. It's going to be somewhat limited, though, as we already said here, not really able to pick up anything else with the exception of that saved op. Thankfully, JDM managed to keep himself alive at the end of that previous round, so they're still looking good with that, but for everybody else, it's FAMAS's. And thankfully, because they did that and some players didn't choose to go for the M4, they can get up still a pretty decent amount of utility going here, but it's not the full stack that they've been looking for. And unfortunately, that could hinder them if they give them the site earlier on. However, JDM there, though, with the wide open peak, they're able to find Valens early on, but now Automatic comes and drops JDM. Thankfully, Tarek gets the trade, though, and for the time being, CLG will maintain the advantage due to that.
And this is crucial. They have to maintain this round. No kits. They can't really let the plants come in. Roka might beat the smoke. He does. He walks right through it, but he makes a footstep. Cutler eliminates him off the map, so now into a 4-on-2, and it's Cephalus and Sanks are so far, like, you can't get more farther away from each other than they currently are right now. Different ends of the map. Bombs over towards A. That's what Cephalus with the AWP at long, and he's going to have to fall back. Takes one shot, but there's a nice kill from Sanks. That weakens the defense a little bit. Tarek's going to get aggressive, but on this rotate, someone's going to have to bail out Cutler. He's got to at least stay alive in the water pit, and if Complexity can eliminate him fast enough from this B bomb set, it's a free plant and a really good chance at holding the retake.
And now we're going to see... And now we're going to see here, too, that Cutler... Taking a look at what they're working with here, too.
It's so much. They're staying so far apart. They're not coming together. Look at... Cephalus hasn't even come down these stairs quite yet. Finally, there's only 20 seconds left, though, and there's Sanks taking out Cutler. Hayes is now rotated over. But Sanks is doing work, and this plant's going to go down. And Cephalus and Sanks, they have a lot of utility to work with. Molotov to hold him back. Sanks is going to watch the upper passageway. He's going to get one more kill. A huge round for... And Semphis is going to steal away that last shot there. A big round win for Complexity that absolutely should not have happened. A huge takeaway from them, and now this is going to break the economy here from CLG. And my game crashed. So, is Moses here, by the way, or did he... I came back.
You're back? Okay.
I am back.
You were roboting here. I don't know if that was me or you, but...
Yeah, my internet crashed for about 3 seconds at LA, so that makes a lot of sense.
It's cool. My client crashed too, so
it's a very
smooth night.
All sorts of issue. It's a tactical pause, so it's not a big deal. Obviously, as CLG just talks over how to win 4-on-2s, they're gonna have to figure some things out.
And obviously, again, that round was a little bit shaky because we had some trouble following that with the client crashing and the internet going out on this. But Complexity with a huge victory there too. Semphis finding that very nice option to close it out, but. Now again, a huge upset, and I mean, just look at the money now here too for Complexity because of how many rounds they've gotten away with and just how clean some of these have been. Round 6 and 7, they stayed alive with 4 and 5 players. That last one they make it out of it with 2, granted, so it's a little bit weaker, but even so, they've got so much cash stacked up now. Semphis has been an absolute juggernaut here. He's barely gone down at all this half, sitting at 15.7k. It probably was maxed out actually at the beginning of this one, and as well, Automatic sitting at 10k. He had about 1,500 at the start. Plenty more of them were floating around 10k or 8k at least there too, so they just have so much money stacked up right now, and it's going to take so much work from CLG. To be completely honest, I don't think they can actually break it, because by the time they empty out the bank account here from Complexity, they're probably going to be on enough of a losing bonus to just buy up anyway.
They have to buy now if they want to win this match. I mean, you can't expect to rattle off 6 straight after the performances you've had. You haven't won a rifle round yet in the second half if you're CLG, so that's depressing. And I mean, once you lose a 4-on-2, it's just like, all right, guys, what the hell? And now look at this. 4 FAMASes out on the board, but JDM has the glass cannon AWP. They're going to get aggressive everywhere. FNS is going to push short. They also have players coming out of the door. And 4 players from Complexity lined up outside this B bomb site waiting for any kind of push.
Just being very, very cautious right now. Roka trying to see. They're going to get that flash over there through Monster. Not a big reaction to that coming out from CLG yet, but Tarek is going to move outside the door. Roka definitely going to be the key player here with the current positions from CLG's roster at this point, but Tarek's going to move actually back into the site, circumvent the side tunnel here, and as for Valence too, he's keeping his eyes out, trying to see if he can catch anything, but the rest of CLG just kind of has this square block moving around right now. JDM watching out for a push to come through Park. He might catch automatic in the process, but it's all in an attempt to just sell things over here as the push is going to come towards B regardless, and they're just taking their jolly old time, and we just saw their two Semphis picking up another nice frag, able to drop FNS as he's caught wide out in the open once again. There's another one there too, automatic doing that flank work that we were just talking about. He's now found Hayes in a 5-on-3, technically a 4-on-3 on the site itself, but they should still easily be able to go for this take.
Yeah, you'd think so. When you Tarek grabs the first one, and now he's going to swing out. He's going to find two more. Nicely done from Tarek. They lined up for him. The damage that Cutler did bails him out. JDM picks up one as well. This is a perfect round to stop. I mean, this is a 3-on-5 now, so it's just up to Valence. He's over towards short. He's in the water, in the sewers. He's going to go up against JDM's op, and if he can find this could be a useful pop flash. And it is. The shot misses, and he's got to hunt this down, jumping around the corner, but JDM cleans it up anyway, so nicely done. That's the 10th round for CLG. A little bit of life left in him.
And clearly that pause has worked for CLG as they're going to manage to swing that one out after such a brutal start.
That pause did not work for CLG. They got beat up once again in the early stages of the round in a 3-on-5. They're very fortunate to come out with that.
So they get, I'll correct myself, they get lucky towards the end of the second half and being so fortunate as to shut it down. Tarek, of course, being the MVP, they're finding that triple kill spray that he managed to pull off over there, helping the pull in order to get that one. And as for Complexity now, still, of course, as we talked about while we were still on the pause, they've got plenty of cash left in the bank here, so they're just going to be able to resume their buys, no problem. They take it much slower this time, but it is more of a solid push over towards A, where previously, for the most part, they had been favoring those B pushes, similarly to CLG on their T-half.
Yeah, and this is a huge aggression from Complexity out towards long. No one from CLG is over there even watching that, but they're going to fall back from bathrooms now. Tarek's going to play close up. Even though they have the op of JDM, he's not going to be on that side, so they pop flash, and Tarek just swings wide but doesn't see anything. So this hit is still, CLG still doesn't know it's coming, and they've got to be very, very careful. If Semphis is able to get in a position with that op, he can punish anyone peeking, and you can see JDM actually jumping over the APC, I believe it is.
And they'll push through now. A lot of flashes coming out from both sides here, but Sank saves Valence's life there, is able to take down Cutler. They spot JDM over here by Semi now, and they're going to try to push their way back into the site. Rotations coming out at the hands of CLG, but to be completely honest, a lot of them are already here or very close to being on that site. There's JDM picking up one more, able to drop down on Sanks here. Automatic as well. He's going to get decked, but now Roka finds a way in. He takes down Tarek in a 3-on-3 situation. They manage to keep it even. Valence puts it back into their control. Both remaining are trying to push out towards Bank. They get smoked with his pop flash coming out from Valence too. He's trying to find that spray, and now it's just in the hands of Hayes now. Wrapping around, he knows where both players should be, generally speaking. Moving out is not going to be able to take down Hayes, unfortunately, so Complexity steal away the round once again, and they're not going to be on match point here against CLG.
Yeah, a heartbreaking round to lose if you're CLG, because now your economy's reset going forward. Complexity with just a standard A-take, and the trades all work out in their favor, so CLG now only have pistols to really combat the onslaught of Complexity, and like you said, there's still so much money behind this, so no matter how many rounds they lose, I mean, they're still going to have money. This is insane. So CLG in a very, very tough spot.
And at this point here with CLG, with that broken money situation, they're just going to go right for the push once again here. Two over inside Connector. Probably going to meet the first bout of combat here as Valence moving in there. And Tarek, unfortunately, teammate getting in the way. He picks up one, but runs out of ammo there. So Automatic is going to be able to pick up not one, but two on both FNS and Tarek. They get an okay amount of info there as they find out where two of those players are and take one of them down. But beyond that, they still have absolutely no clue where this push is going to happen. JDM, though, nice and patient, finds one, but that too will get traded out by Sanks. They're still a man down at this point. Both are on the B side, and we see Complexity going to go for a much slower push over towards A. Hazel rotating to stop this, but he's just a lone man with a 5-7 working against an op and two AKs at this point. So the odds not looking too good, especially going up against Semphis here now too, and even Roka now coming in for the support. He's going to be able to steal the kill onto Hayes, and all the hopes and dreams of CLG at this point are pinned on Cutler, and it's not looking so good. He'll steal away Semphis here to take him down, but now he's wide out in the open. This peek comes out from Sanks, almost finding Sanks, but doesn't expect Roka to come out there from Semi side, so that's going to close it out there. And we will see Complexity going 2-0 for the night, stealing away not only their match versus NME, but also their match versus CLG.
Yeah, that's a rough performance out of CLG. Not only as a team, but individually. I mean, you don't really want to call out individuals when you see a team performance like that. Tarek and JDM had a rough match. They're not really putting up too many numbers, but I mean, altogether, CLG's defense just looks sloppy, and that's one thing that since they switched over towards Cutler and since they have been much improved, their CT sides, their defense is the side that's looked their better one. So a little bit curious to see. So they're going to drop to 0-1, and I believe they have another match that they're going to have to recover for. Basically, right now is the next match we have coming up.
The next match is actually going to be the Liquid versus Conquest one.
So Method versus CLG is going to be the last match of the night.
So they've got a little bit of time to sit back and recuperate, figure out what happened there, and then get ready for their match versus Method, which will be happening at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. But the next match coming up here on the stream, guys, and again, it should be happening in just a few minutes. There was another update, so it might be slightly delayed, but I imagine, considering we didn't have issues with the last one, we shouldn't have any problems with this one. The next match coming up here in just a few moments is going to be Conquest taking on Liquid. Stick around for it right here on ESEA TV, and we'll be right back with more of the ESEA ESL Pro League.
Do some really cool stuff. This map can be really, really exciting. You think of like Virtus Pro, like best team in the world on Train at the moment, but like they're such a fun team to watch on this, with the way that it can explode in the outer bomb side. I think in North America, CLG actually has a really cool outer execute. So does LG. So I mean, there's some cool stuff happening with this map, and I hope we get to see some of it tonight.
I'm looking at some of the results here so far from our teams, and actually, no, we'll screw that. We'll talk about it when it becomes relevant, as we're getting live into the match now, so let's get right to it, guys. It's Conquest versus Team Liquid, the first half beginning. Conquest winning that knife round. They're going to get the start off over here on the CT side, and as for Liquid, they're jumping onto the T side to see what they can work with. Fugly going to go out from the rest of the team here and just try to see if he can keep everybody in that A bomb site, but as for the rest of Liquid, they're going inside right now, and they're going to completely destroy Daps on the way in there, working their way in here too. They managed to find a way into that site, and no trouble at all. Unfortunately, the rest of Conquest is basically nowhere to be found. They're all outside right now, trying to work their way in through connector. Right now, Fugly is an opposing force too, holds them out for a couple more seconds. Naf is able to take him down with relative ease, but still, we still have to look at those three players trying to find a way in for connector. Nobody else wrapping out towards CT, and there's just no way they're getting in through that angle there. And even Elige finding one through the smoke too. He's going to take down Rush, and any attempt at a retake, unfortunately, is going to be thwarted here by Conquest, so they'll be looking for exits at this point, and Liquid will easily walk away with this first round here.
Yeah, I mean, once that smoke goes down a connector, it's all over. You could just see them bail out from that moment on. Really, that round was one outside. Immediately, Rush got gooshed, and it pulled the defense just like 3 steps away out towards outer. They had to be very, very cautious of an outer rush, but it went inner, and there was just no support for Daps. He got caught. He couldn't even make it to the back of the train to get behind cover to survive as long as possible. He just gets eliminated very quickly. So basically, yeah, free win for Liquid as they beat the rotations into that bomb site.
And looking at Liquid's buy-ups here now, we're going to look at Elige and Fugly going directly for the rifles. Adren's going to be going right now for an SMG, but he's the only player that goes for it here, and it makes sense too, as he needs to be the one that grabs up that extra little bit of cash to try and pick up the op. We don't see him, and I'm actually a bit curious too as to how he's going to play this with the new roster. I'm not sure how much you've been able to watch the new Liquid, but have we seen Adren picking up the op more with this new roster, or is he still generally shying away from it on the T side still?
That's the thing. I saw him hopping with the T side in that tournament at the iBet Power Invitational that just ended a couple days ago. So that'll be interesting to watch. Either way, heavy inside presence for Conquest. All 5 members here, and Liquid's walking right into it. So this is going to be a battle every step. Already an AK on the ground. Adren picks it up though. Not able to make any progress. There's so many counter terrorists inside this bomb site. Liquid's in a tough spot here.
We see here too, Adren's going to be able to find one, but Rix gets the response, hiding towards the back. Liquid, they're going to get pushed outside. Nitro and Adren both heavily lit up. Adren's on the 19, and Nitro's sitting at 27. Nitro's going to sit back to hold the line, but unfortunately not going to hold it very well there, as Naf is quick to eliminate him coming in through the top. Now they're going to get this smoke off over here onto A, hoping to at the very least sneak away with this plant, but the hold from Conquest is just so strong right now. Even snuffing out the remaining one, Rix is going to be able to find one with the CZ, and Rush with a long-range kill there on a P250 takes out Adren, and Conquest get a quick response there and shut down the offense from Liquid with a good gamble play over towards the inside train yard.
Yeah, that's a really bad round from Team Liquid. I mean, like a half-ass committal into that inner bomb site, going down that lower ramp where you're at so many disadvantages, not even probing outside, pretty much committing immediately to an inner hit, and they just get stuffed by that stack. I mean, if you're going to go in there and you have the rifles, why not go out the upper ramp where you have those long-range battles, where you have the open battles where you can pick off the pistols? So that's really unfortunate for them.
Liquid, of course, are going to be broken after this one and go mainly onto Tech 9s and P250 buys here, working their way over towards the back of B right now. Adren's going to lead the charge for the team, getting that smoke out, but also counter-smoke by the CTs, so not really going to give them a whole lot of momentum just yet. And Conquest kind of playing their own game here at this point, working their way around, but getting very aggressive here to try and look and see what they can find. They've heard all this noise coming into the inside train yard, so they've moved an additional player inside of here, but unfortunately for them, Liquid, for the most part, are going to be able to get out scot-free. Now, whether they can get the kills or not is still the question, and so far, not looking so good, as it's 3-0, 4-0 now, as Rix picks up another kill to take out Hiko, and it's just Fugly, although he does sneak away this plant. That's all they're going to get. No kills at all onto the Conquest players, and that'll be a very clean retake from them after Liquid just kind of funnel their way in without finding any kills themselves.
Yeah, they do get the plant, which is nice, but it's not enough for the investment they made. Everyone had armor, everyone had upgraded pistols. I mean, that's just too much money to not get any kills out of it. So that's kind of the difference in Conquest anti-eco run. They used the range of those rifles, whereas in Liquid's anti-eco, I mean, they got up close and they just got beat. So there's the difference. The plant going down isn't a huge loss whatsoever. But Liquid just looking like they're getting stuffed on these last 2 rounds.
Liquid now here too, once again, still forced back down. They have to do the double save here. Not going to be able to go for the buy yet. It's still very, very early on in this game, so haven't been able to stack up enough cash. And obviously picking up the 1 round, then immediately losing it right after causes that full reset. And it happens right from the start, which is not what they need to have happen. But they go once again, a big solid unit of all 5 players working together. A couple may split their way off and work over towards the lower entryway into the inside train yard, but most are on their way over to upper right now, trying to find their way up onto the plat and seeing if they can find kills there. But Rick starts it off strong, popping outside connector. He's going to be able to take down a Legion. Dren here too, looking to see if there's going to be any aggression, but unfortunately leaving his teammates off to dry a little bit here. Rix will pick up a second one through the nade, and then it's just Naf and Dap so far cleaning things up in the site itself. Hiko's the only one left alive. He did sneak around a little bit, but still the quick adjustment from Shazam there does allow him to take him out before he himself falls, and Conquest make it 2 clean rounds in a row here to put it up to 3-1.
Yeah, now no AWP is going to be able to be brought out for Team Liquid. I mean, they had the money to go glass cannon, but they're gonna decide to go all AKs. They're gonna have a lot of utility though, so that's good to see. They can pretty much do any kind of execute they want. If you look at this, they have 5 smokes, a bunch of flashbangs, even a couple Molotovs to help them out. And that's actually okay because there's no AWP on the CT side as well, so they don't have to go any long range duels. But look at this aggression down Ivy. Rush is gonna push up with Naf, and they're gonna spot absolutely nothing. Just another heavy mid play. Fugly's worked his way out into a lurk position out in the yard, so he could do some damage later on, but there's a massive flank coming in for Naf.
Nitro working his way down here too. There's Dalps looking for the opening kills at first. We'll have to keep an eye on that flank for a little bit here. That Molly comes out. Elijah's not going to phase him though. He's able to take down Dalps as he gets a little bit too aggressive, but now we've got Naf working his way around, still being a little bit cautious in case there's any work happening here, but Nitro's falling back, so Naf is going to have to go into a duel with him. Hasn't been able to hear him just yet, and he's actually going to catch a Dren out in the open here. Now pushes through, but not looking up for Naf. They're up on top of the steps, so we will actually see, apologies, that's Nitro, apologies, that takes down Naf that's up on top of the steps there. He'll take him down. Rush able to find another one, but Liquid Hiko cleans it up there by taking out Rush, and now they finally are able to take another round away, keeping things close for now at a 3-2 scoreline.
Yeah, some good play as well out of Liquid. I think that it looks like they want to abuse. They've gone inside very, very frequently. Daps has been playing there pretty much solo. That's kind of how they abused and won that terrorist pistol round. So if Conquest doesn't adapt to these fast plays, that could get punished throughout this half. But now we see Shazam with the AWP. He's going to bring that outside. And still, once again, one more time, Daps all alone. But Liquid isn't doing a fast strategy to take advantage of it.
And the smokes again coming out here into the outside train yard is Liquid with these guns now going to take things a little bit slower this time around, just trying to make sure that they can get the full analysis of what the round holds. But Naf is actually going to open things up here for the players on Conquest, is able to catch Fugly in his attempt to work his way into that outside train yard and at the very least pick up a kill or two there, and if not even that, at the very least try to get some info, but it's not going to pan out very well. They're going to take him down before he even gets very far at all, so already losing Fugly, not going to be too good at this point. And even the Rush here now pushing forward in a big way, able to get a lot of info himself here as to just how much Liquid is not pushed into this outside yard. They know they're fooling around in the back halls that are over by White Halls and then in back B too, so they can get themselves ready for that for the time being. Watch mainly the ladder push along with this push that's going to be happening over towards the B side, and hopefully get those players in a position. I am a little bit worried right now just because they've got Naf in a position to watch Ivy, and Rush is really deep and outside too, so when Team Liquid do go for this execution, we're going to have to see the players from Conquest on that site perform in a big way, otherwise they might be able to get on that site pretty cleanly.
Yeah, but Rix is rotating over. They have a third player now as this hit comes in. Daps is out in the open. He's got to survive, but he can't get off the train. Shazam trades it off. Elige falls down. 3-on-4 situation. And Shazam keeps chiming in from long range with that AWP. Taking a couple more out, but now that Nitro's getting aggressive, he's bought a little bit of a time to get this bomb planted.
And that's going to go down, but Shazam in the meantime is cleaning up the rest of the roster. Molly's going to come out too, and that forces the Dren outside of the hiding spot. I actually don't think that Molly... Nah, looks like it probably would have hit him there if he stayed in that, so he did kind of have to relocate himself. But regardless, he was stuck in a 1-on-3, so the odds weren't looking too good for him anyway. He's going to drop at the hands of Shazam once again, coming out big in that round with a 3K on the op, and Conquest trade that round right back at them again, picking up a 4th point for themselves, and this will put the money situation for Liquid back down into the dirt once more. There's a couple players sitting at 3.9K on a Dren, and Hiko's still at 5.6K along with Nitro at 6.1, so they could go for a force up with Tech 9s here, but we'll see actually what they choose to go for. And yep, they're going to force it here. For those that can buy AKs, they'll do that, and the others will pick up Tech 9s.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid. I mean, that's decent from Team Liquid to get that plant. Really, once that player to alley fell, there's no map control anywhere else on the map, so they don't really have an opportunity to fall back and rotate away. They were forced into that inside execute, and Shazam just wins it. Now look at how far back Daps is playing now. He has an M4, he has a smoke and a Molotov, but he knows he's been getting so much pressure put on him. He doesn't want to be inside this bomb site without support. So now that Shazam's here, just rotates in time, picks off a leash, smoke goes down in the lower ramp. Hiko's already into the bomb site. That's a key miss from Shazam though, but he makes up for it by grabbing Nitro and a Dren. Nicely done from Shazam on this rotate, just picking people off long range.
And Hiko again now getting that plant down, relying on the support from Fugly. It's going to come in a little bit late here as he re-smokes down there, but there's Shazam once again, now up to 4 kills, an absolute monster. Looking for the 5th, now they found out where Fugly is. He tries to move further in to defend this bomb for as long as possible, but everybody on Conquest closing in should be able to take him out, and they're just going to absolutely surround him there, so Rix will finish him off without him picking up any more frags. And although Shazam will be denied the ace, he still gets a very, very nice round for himself, and Conquest got out of that one with minimal losses as well, only losing Daps along the way, so keeping their economy strong and continuing to build it up as well.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of teams on these intertakes when they get into the bomb site. They like to push people up down these train alleys. They want to take the fight closer up towards the counter terrace as they come out of the choke points behind that first train, coming out of connector, coming through CT spawn. But if you're getting picked off, if you're losing players, too many players in the take, you don't have the manpower to devote to that. You really have to secure the bomb plant instead. So that's kind of what Shazam is allowing Conquest to do, is come into these choke points on the rotation with no pressure put on him because he's getting a couple picks, 2 or 3 at long range before the bomb gets planted.
And pushing in here once again now, Liquid playing mainly into the back of this map at this point, not really looking to get themselves anywhere push forward just as of yet, and as well here, Conquest tossing in a lot of smokes initially, so they know that those are going to be a problem, so they don't decide to get in the way of that just yet. However, they line themselves up now. This is going to be finally an attempt at the outside trainer, which for the most part they have been avoiding for the most part. The problem here is going to be the fact that they don't really have any angle pushing in from Ivy just as of yet, so it's going to be a fairly linear take here. The only thing that could surprise them would be this play outside of ladder room, but I think they can expect that pretty easily too. But here they come now, working their way out, and with only pistols as well, it's just not going to be looking so good. Everybody from Conquest knows what's happening. This is being played a little bit too slowly, in my opinion. A 1-for-1 trade starts us up, but Hiko finds one on top of Big Blue there, and then Rick's getting another response too. Transfer there on the aim, he's able to take down a leash, but nonetheless, there's a little bit of progress being made by Liquid. Shazam quick to stop it and put it back into his team's advantage. However, Hiko again damaging it back. Daps is going to drop a Dren, and now it's just Hiko in a 1-on-2 situation, and Rix pushes forward, finally able to take down Hiko, and that keeps it strong for Conquest now as they continue to hold this nice streak of rounds. And again, that is going to be a little bit more of a loss for them, but still no plant coming out at Liquid either, so I don't really think they can consider that a big victory for themselves.
Yeah, and Liquid had the money to buy it up and drop it over this round to a Dren if they had chosen to, but they don't go for it. So still sticking with these 5 rifle strategy. They haven't gone outside whatsoever. The one round they tried to do that, their Fugly was picked off over towards Ivy, so it kind of ended that dream without having an Ivy player. This time it looks like they're going to try and get out mid quickly, but there's a Molotov. Elige does make it out. He's got to play a little bit passive while these nades expire. And this is a great delay job by Conquest on this outer hit.
And again, they know that all this is coming for the most part, so they can rotate everybody, and they're going to keep Dap sort of in connector for now, but they've already found 1 kill, and they should be able to see the bomb. There they go, they dropped it. Now everybody can come in, and Nap as well is on this big flank here right now too, so for those that are managing to push forward, like a Dren here, picking up a kill on the rush, he should be able to surprise them and take them out, lining up the shot, takes it a Dren, now going to move in, and they didn't even get that info out either. He didn't go for Hiko at first for some reason, so Hiko is going to be able to turn around, not only saving his teammate, but picking up that kill. Thankfully though, Shazam is there with the Tech 9. He's quick to respond to that one and takes out both the remaining players from Liquid, and still keeping that defense perfect here for Conquest, not letting Liquid go anywhere in this outside or inside train yard for that matter.
Yeah, those Molotovs bought him so much time. Rush was able to get unblind, center himself behind the train, kind of find the angles he wanted to work with, and because of the Molotovs, no one from Liquid could really stream out to support each other. So that's a little unfortunate, but that's just kind of what happens on this map when the economy of the counter terrace is built up to this extent. So now Liquid's got to do some damage here. They're going to go inside one more time. They've got to get this bomb planted. And they need to start figuring out a way to find some picks or trade these kills coming out of outside out to the outer bomb site.
And they work their way in now. Back of B lined up for a big take from here, and of course keeping Fugly's eyes at this point on the ladder room run up, just in case somebody from Conquest tries to get aggressive now, because they've been winning quite a few rounds in a row now, so they might decide to get a little bit bold here and pick up these extra frags early, but not going to be the case. They're all sitting back. Daps is waiting over here on the approach stopper on the platform here, jumping down, and that's a nice nade. Does so much damage here too. Nitro down to 4, and that Molly, actually the nade, that second nade that comes in there from Daps is going to be the thing that finishes him off, and you've got not only Daps, but Rick just slowly pushing forward. Dren is going to try to go for the this plant, but that gets denied by Daps as well, and it's just a tsunami of Conquest running through here, completely obliterating any attempt from Liquid to defend their plant scenario. They can't get it off, and Conquest again pick up yet another round.
Alright, here's the op out of Adren now, so here's the response. Adren wants to see if he can take some long-range duels and win some battles. Trying to see what kind of a spawn. He has a decent spawn, but that's not going to help him beat Shazam. Shazam's going to get the angle first, so this will be a little bit... This round is going to slow down out of Team Liquid. They're going to have to allow Adren to have the time to peek around corners to see if anyone's going to give up some free kills before they do anything. And he's actually going to take it over towards Alley, where Naf is pushing up behind his own smoke. And actually, he's just going to play around the side of it. This is pretty clever, and Fugly needs to be careful not to get caught, and he spams it. He spots the feet, just blasts away, and Naf falls down for free. So there's a good pick, not from the op, but a 5-on-4 advantage for Liquid this round.
And Liquid again now finally picking up something here, able to work with that, and again, they're going to be a little bit slow with this as they try to line this up for a potential take onto that A site. Not going to work towards it just as of yet here as they bide their time a little bit. Adren looking for that hop shot over there through Ivy, as we can see Shazam challenging him a little bit in that regard, but for the most part just trying to delay it in the largest way that he can. Rush finding another kill back over there, dropping the bomb too. That's going to be an inside T connector, outside T connector actually, but Adren also wins that battle versus Shazam that had been going on for some time. They get that smoke in there, and they're going to try to work their way into this site now and take control for here, but the problem is, again, that bomb still sitting on the floor right now, so they're going to have to find a way to go grab that. Hiko, thankfully, on his way back over to T-spawn, and there's not anybody from Conquest challenging that actively right now, so it should be pretty easy to pick that up. But elsewhere, again, we saw that push moving in from Ivy. Rix picking up one of the kills, takes down Fugly, and that's just another player that's been dropped. And now we've been evened out. We're back down to a 3-on-3, and there's only 30 seconds left. Liquid is also pretty shattered at this point, too. They're also pretty separate, so they're going to have trouble getting together and getting this plant. The last two are together now, moving over to the bomb trade and going to try to get this plant off with 20 seconds left on the clock. Elige picks up one there on the Rix, but take a look at Daps sneaking around. Daps doesn't even realize it's been planted here at this point. He's going to try to take one of them out, but they both escape outside. They're getting the double spray. Daps with some assistance for Elige there because of that lineup is going to be able to take down Hiko, and now Elige sitting up on top. Can Daps notice this with that spray fire? He's going to know it's coming now, but as we see here, Daps has to try and push for this, and Nade comes out and comboing that. Elige will jump outside. He's going to be able to take down Daps, and a nice play from Liquid will net them finally another round onto the board here.
Yeah, very, very lucky to get out with that round as Liquid, as they did line up. Daps almost sprayed them both down, but really, once they killed Nitro in that T connector with the bomb down, that's what allowed Conquest to get into that round, because that should have been a rout by Liquid, but it took them so long to clear that area, to rotate Hiko around from the Whitehalls, that the Conquest players were able to rotate over, able to find some kills before the bomb was even close to being planted, so much time was bought in that round, and it almost slipped out of Liquid's grasp.
So now we see, too, we'll take a look at what exactly the players here from Liquid are going to pull for. Now they've got the edge here. And as we talked about, this could be the tipping point, too. We don't see that out going back into their hands. The money situation has been brought down a little bit too low for this one, so they're going to have to try and push this one. And if not, then they just get forced right back down into an eco, and that should, for the most part, hand over, if not the next couple rounds, the rest of these rounds in the half over in the hands of Conquest, and they'll have an absolutely huge lead heading into the second half, which they can easily work with regardless of side advantages.
Very slow pace out of Liquid so far. 2 towards Ivy, 2 towards mid, and just Hika, or that's Elige, excuse me, lurking over into these box halls. So he's going to try and cause a little bit of a distraction by throwing smokes down at the lower ramp. That one kind of putters and doesn't really go anywhere, but...
And Elige again here, moving around, trying to get together with his teammates. That was a little bit of a trouble in the later round, and actually take a look at this now. Elige not able to spot Rix just yet, but he is going to catch him now as they work their way in.
Doing?
Rix, obviously, he didn't hear it, but he should have definitely suspected something. Shazam only going to find one, though, as he takes down Nitro. Elige quick to correct that. Rush, Adren, and Hiko are going to find some kills for themselves there, too, but Rush falls in the process of that, so it gets brought down just to Daps. He's in a 1-on-3, working his way through the back halls right now, and again, very little intel at this point, and along with a limited nade stack, he's only got a molly to work with, and Adren's watching that exact position if he decides to come down through ladder room, so probably not even going to be worth it to try and go for that retake. Just save that M4, take it into the next round. They've got plenty of money, but saving this extra one couldn't hurt them at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, the majority of them have some pretty good money, but Naf is definitely going to need to drop. He only has $100 right now, so you're exactly right. Saving this gun is going to be massive for Conquest. Either way, a couple of nice rounds out of Liquid. Now they're starting to get into it. Now they're starting to punish some of the mistakes of Conquest, and all of a sudden they're going to have their 4th round. And if they win one more, they're going to break the economy of Conquest, so that's actually something that they have to be very, very careful about.
And it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to catch on to Dap, so he will make it out of this round with that M4 in hand. And as we said, that's a big takeaway for them because this does enable another full buy at their hands. Daps will probably have to donate that M4 to somebody. I think it was going to be handed back over there over onto Rix, I believe, and the guns get tossed around a little bit. Only one FAMAS in the mix, though, so for the most part, they've got all the guns they need. Shazam picking up the op does delete his potentiality to go for a full nade buy out there, and as well, no head armor on him, but with full AKs on Team Liquid, that's not going to matter anyway. Everybody else pretty much has what they need, so this is still a very sufficient buy for them to work with, and shouldn't cause them any problems at all against the Conquest, or apologies, against the Liquid buy.
Daps once again playing this very, very solo. If Liquid puts a little bit more aggressive on Inner, they can catch Daps off guard. I mean, he's got no one to support him whatsoever until, you know, about 20, 25, 30 seconds into the round. So there's a gap there that Liquid can start exploiting. Shazam still does have the AWP, and he's the one that's swinging between these bomb sites, but very, very slow played is this round out of Team Liquid. Once again, 2 towards Ivy, and only 1. That's the bomb as well, staying solo towards the terrorist connector on Nitro.
I'm looking out here now. Fugly's going to push up. Assistance from Rush is going to be had here as Naf will be the one to defend this, and Adren as well, just keeping his eyes out in case the CTs get aggressive. That flash comes in completely blinding Fugly, and Rush is not peeked up for this, but nobody finds a kill on anybody. Now Naf's going to come in, and the op shot from Adren doesn't even take place as he was caught with a nade in hand, so that's a free kill for Conquest now, and Adren unfortunately has no way to push himself through Ivy at this point, killing the plans a little bit, but the rest of Take is going to start now for Liquid as they work their way inside. Rush trapped in that molly, nowhere to run for him, so Hiko, he's going to be able to take him out with a free kill coming up on that one. The rest of Conquest slowly rotating in, but they're still holding strong on this site. There's been no plan as of it, as the hold's still been very good for these players playing over here towards the train alleys in the back of outside site. So they're going to take out another one. It's still in a 4-on-3 situation, and Conquest still passively holding this, and Liquid unfortunately can't seem to find out these final players. Rick's taking out another one, and Hiko leaves it with only Adren and Nitro left alive.
Yeah, this is the issue. Adren's op hasn't had any chance to be effective. There's Nitro with 1. Now it's all on Adren, but he's not able to find the angles to really protect his teammates from this far away. Now with the bomb planted, he's got to hope someone swings and peeks on him, but he misses that shot. That's the one he needed to turn this into a winnable situation, and now, unfortunately, all he can really do is get that last pick and just save his gun because he's not going to win it. He gets fully blind. He's actually in the wide open if they were able to peek that, but it's actually really unfortunate that he didn't get that pick. Him and Fugly had the right idea. I believe that was Fugly over towards Ivy, where Dren was watching his left as Fugly looked right, but as soon as he pulls a nade out, there's a peek, so that's a little bit unfortunate on that timing. Either way, Conquest stabilizes. They end the streak of 2, but it is another buy for Liquid behind that plant.
Liquid taking a little bit of time here to toss their guns around, so they've been playing this pretty slowly anyway, so not really going to impact them. It only hurt them if we see aggressive play coming out, which to some degree we do hear from Conquest. They're going to get this boost over here from Naf to put him on top of, I don't know what to call this, I guess server this would be over in Ivy, just the little box in Ivy there, so that's going to put him on top of that. If Fugly continues to push down that alleyway there, he's going to be able to catch him, and that'll be exactly what happens. He gets hit with a heavy amount of damage in the process, but that's still a free kill going the way of Conquest. That's not going to get traded out anywhere else on the map for the time being. Liquid are shifting themselves over a little bit because of this. Looks like they're still going to decide to push this inside of A, but with the Ivy push filling, they have to change some aspects of this up here a little bit. The bomb carrier is still working his way in through T-Con, but the rest look like they are going to try to rush their way out here through ladder room and try to work a take from there. With Hiko, I think, is going to make a little bit of noise here in back B as well. That or could be just watching the flank for when they actually get themselves in. He'll join them at a later point.
Looks like they almost want to get a pick out of this ladder room and then be able to fall back towards inner bomb site, but Naf's going to shut that down. There goes the op on Adren. He just gets clotheslined, so Naf with 2 kills has done a very, very good job this round, having a huge impact. Elish is going to have to try and sneak out. He spots Rush far away, can't land the kill though. So in a 3-on-5, there's really only one thing left to do, and that's to get towards the center bomb site very, very quickly, but they can't beat the rotation out of Shazam. He doesn't have an op, so they do have an opening, and Daps is playing inside the bomb site, but this has got to be very successful. But there's the spray through the smoke. Shazam gets the first one. That's Nitro down. No entry so far for Liquid, and they're just getting mopped up. Daps with the final 2 kills. Great defense from Conquest.
And we talked about the stabilization that came into play because Conquest picked up that last round, but now it's been put into a good spot. It's not technically going to matter now that we're at the 15th round, but they've been placed into an excess buy now anyway, so they would have been able to make it out. Still a little bit late, of course, but they should have been able to make it through at the very least with a slightly forced buy of the next one if they drop this one. But as we said, 15th round here, they've made it through. They've got the full buy, and as for Liquid, they've been broken once more, and they're just going to force up anything they can here for the final 15th round. It's not going to be much. A Deagle on a Legion, Tech 9s for everybody else. They've got a nice amount of utility, but still have to rely on that pistol aim in order to make anything happen, and I think Conquest may know this, so Daps gets a little aggressive, tossing that nade up, not going to pursue it any further than that though, and beyond this, Liquid is trying to look up a default A-take now, and probably going to try to set it up a lot quicker here too, as you can see by the 3 players moving over towards Ivy right now.
Yeah, this should be a situation where Fugly's going to throw some nades and Molotovs to help these 3 players in Ivy get out towards what used to be old hell, with Elish just coming out, taking some shots long range of that Deagle towards the bomb site, but pretty solid defense. Shazam once again on a very, very quick rotate, doesn't have the AWP. Conquest looking like they're in a good position to stop this.
Liquid again just trying to find any additional aggression that they can possibly find here, but not looking so good so far at this point, as again, Conquest just sit back, bide their time, and even with that smoke coming up further down Ivy, they're actually going to use this to throw a molly there now, so Nitro might be forced to use one of his smokes, and keep in mind, they're still going to need these here too to try and make this take work happen, but they actually don't use it just yet. Adren's going to be able to peek out here, comes into a little bit of a battle with Nap, but can't get any damage on him, so that flash goes out, completely blinds Nap. He's going to fall back. They'll get control of Ivy, at least for the time being now, but, well, looks like we might have a DC on
Liege.
Nitro there, or, okay.
Doesn't even matter. Liege doing work with that deagle. He's provided an opportunity for Fugly to get one more kill, coming up the ladder just to scope out above the smoke. Finds the kill, and now it's just Dap so quickly. No one even lost from Team Liquid, so this is going to be their 5th round, and that's a crucial round to win. It gives himself a little bit more time going into the second half, a little bit of an opportunity to make some mistake, but Liege just executing kids coming out that ladder room.
With a big play like that, Daps is going to be left alone. He'll obviously try to go for this, but there's nowhere to run at this point. As you said, the 5th point from Liquid going to get picked up here. Daps is going to make an attempt, but doesn't really go too far there. And that'll end the half. 10-5 in the favor of Conquest, and a very big take there on the CT side. Somewhat of what we would expect, at least for a North American train match, but very dominant in their favor nonetheless. So now we got to see what happens when we switch sides here and how favorable these teams are. I think overall we'll see a stronger performance from Liquid just on this side, considering the fact that historically speaking, and it might be a little different now with this newer roster, but historically speaking, Adren has always had a little bit more trouble with using his op on the T side, and we saw the problems with that when he actually could get it into his hands. He had a lot of trouble finding a good position for himself to use it, but here on the CT side, he has not only a lot more confidence with it, but overall an easier job as the opper on the CT side, so that alone should add quite a bit of strength to the Team Liquid roster now on this side.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the big thing is going to be Liquid. If they win Pistol, they can't lose that second round again. Especially on the CT side of Train, you have to get that economy rolling. If you can get those Molotovs, those smokes, those nades for these choke points, if you can tone down the early aggression out of terrorist teams, you have a lot of options available with how you want to play mid-round defense during a slow-paced round. So that's going to be the big thing. That's going to be the first priority for Liquid.
So here we go once again, guys. The first pistol, apologies, our second pistol round of our second half here, getting started now. And we'll see if Conquest can keep their streak going on the T side, or if Team Liquid are finally going to be able to get a response going here and be able to swing things back, keep this map close tonight, and maybe bring things back into their favor. But to start things off for Conquest, we'll see exactly where they take it, and it's going to be most players working through light halls right now. Over into back B, they slow it down a little bit in case there's blind aggression at the hands of Team Liquid, but it doesn't look like that's the case. And overall, they go for kind of the same strategy we saw here at the hands of Conquest on their own CT side. There's a little bit more aggression from Nitro, though, as he actually peeks all the way up through Ivy to see if there'll be a push there. It won't happen, so they can probably get this intel that, yeah, it's more than likely going to be working its way either outside ladder room or inside of the inside train yard now. So they catch this, and they've already got 3 players in sight, too, so they could potentially hold this very strongly if they're able to catch these guys up before that plan happens. But Daps, actually, he's going to find the opener. Rick's picking up a second here, too, and there's that push that you were talking about earlier. They're trying to move forward, but Elige shutting them down, finding 2 there. Nap and Rick's both going down at the hands of Elige, but Shazam is able to take down Nitro now. This leaves Hiko and Elige alive. Elige finally falling there, too, after picking up those 2 kills, and it's Hiko left as the last one standing, but he completely flanks them here, but Shazam, it doesn't even matter for him, swings over, finds the shot on Hiko to take him down, and Conquest, they're going to pick up the pistol here in our second half.
Yeah, that's brutal for Team Liquid. Just an inner rush, and they can't get any of the early kills to go their way, so the bomb gets planted in a 5-on-3, and that's just so hard to retake that inner bomb site, especially when you saw. I mean, that's what happens. I talked about this in the first half. When you have so many players on the T side and you take that inner site, once you start getting aggressive down these lanes, it becomes so difficult for counter-terrorists to retake. There's so many angles to check, so much time they have to spend, but either way, not giving it up quite yet. Liquid's going to buy up. 3 players with upgraded pistols and armor, Leash with the scout, Adren. He picks up a couple nades and a P250.
A very limited buy coming up at the hands of Team Liquid here. They go for basically the gamble play, but it's not going to pay off at all here. Adren's going to meet them. He actually spots them before the push, so we can get this call early, but no, there's way too late of a reaction on this one. They're going to rotate in, but I thought Adren would have seen that there on his initial peek, but it doesn't appear he got as big of a look as I would have thought they would. So they're moving in now, but they've already got themselves onto this site. Daptis doesn't go for the plant in his initial spot, but again, they've already been denied access on their re-entry for this site. Nitro's gone for a complete flank through the White Halls and is working his way inside of ladder room, but this too is smoked out, so it's going to be a blind push. And Rush here, along with the other teammates, just holding things off. Elige is going to get one there with a little bit of jump scouting work, but Rush quickly puts a stop to that one. And now it's just Nitro left alive, who was the player inside of ladder room that we talked about before. But he's working a 1-on-4, and they should have pretty good eyes on that angle. And even so, he's probably not even going to go too aggressively on this. Maybe just looking for players that will be exiting through ladder room at this point.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Liquid actually when Adren went down. That in my opinion, that should have been an immediate save call. you know, use that arsenal you have for the next round. Just keep the armor, keep the pistols, go for something different. Try and change things up. You had everything you needed for the next round to pull out something magical, but you weren't going to get much done trying to retake that outer bomb site. And they just get slaughtered trying to come up the stairs from CT spawn. So now it's going to be a very weak buy. No armor, some upgraded pistols. And Nitro actually invested in some armor and a CZ. So actually, I believe he was the one who did save. But yeah. I mean, really, there's not much they can hope to do in this round. A lot of utility, a lot of SMGs on the side of Conquest, so they can clean things up, and they're just going to come outside very, very quickly.
Yeah, mainly Shazam here, looking to get that money early on so we can go for that out buy here, but they work their way in. Elise finds the opener, a quick trade from Naf though to shut things down, and Rush picking up one here as well, even catching Nitro, who's inside of that smoke garble over there near the bomb train, and with that happening here, it doesn't really leave a whole lot left here for Liquid. As you said, not really too much to expect out of this round with no utility and minimal gun investments to say the least here. Rick's moving forward, cleans up the final two with the P90, and there is going to be the 13th point onto the board now for Conquest.
Yeah, now here's the real issue is that, you know, I mentioned that Liquid, their first party needs to be stabilizing economy early on. They need to have nades, they need to have an op. Molotovs, they don't have the money for that. With that second round investment that did no damage whatsoever, you can already see, like, Rush has 6,600 built up. Naf can buy again, he's got 3,700. Shazam with 2K and an AWP with a full kit. I mean, there's a lot of bank built up behind Conquest, and there's nothing to really slow him down early on in these rounds.
And here they go now with the guns in hands. We'll see what Liquid can do and try to hold off this defense, but Conquest kicking into high gear now. Molly coming off towards the bomb train too. He's going to force a reposition at the hands of Nitro as he moves up inside of the Heaven area here now on the site, but Fugly and Adren having no trouble holding things on their own. Finally, Rush picking up something here for the Conquest roster, but Fugly and Adren right after that picking up the final two that are needed, and Liquid with a great hold on that outside site.
Yeah, they got some long range kills that were very crucial. Fugly shooting through a smoke gets one, they find some cracks in these smokes in between the trains and grab another free kill. So I mean, they shut that down, that early aggression, even without the nades that they needed. So now Adren's got to free up. Now they have 4 Molotovs in their kit. This is looking good for Team Liquid. All of a sudden, if they can win this round, they're going to start closing this gap very, very quickly.
We'll see just if that happens here now as Conquest. They go right up for another buy this time. It'll be a little bit more limited than previously saw as Shazam isn't going to be able to go for the nades that he wants. Most other players are, but Daps did have to sacrifice going down to a Tech 9 in order to pick those up, which again, the Tech 9, the mobile rifle, shouldn't really have any problems with that because that can still do quite a bit of damage. But for the time being here, it's going to limit them to some degree. Still, though, with 4 AKs in the mix, can still potentially do a lot of work. Elise, though, starting it off for Liquid, is going to be able to take down Shazam and already knock out one of these players. Good.
That's a ballsy solo push, not even a pop flash from his teammate. He just walks in and sees what he can find, and actually there's the rebuttal. Naf takes out Fugly over towards Ivy, so Alicia's got to go cover that. He's at about half health, but no aggression off that kill from Conquest. Still 3 members at Ivy, and just 1 member, that's Daps, down ladder room hiding behind a smoke.
They're taking their time here on Conquest, just going to take as much time as possible so they can try to see if they can get any early aggression from the Liquid side, but not going to be happening. Daps as well, now that this smoke is faded over here by ladder room, he's going to start to investigate the outside site as well, and now we see that push coming in. They get a nice pop flash that goes over onto Elige. Isn't completely blinded, but it gives Naf enough field in order to pick up the kill onto Elige. They push out over here, working their way out through the mid tunnel now, and they're going to be able to find one. They should know the location of Adren here too, so that nade gets bounced in. Should do a nice chunk of damage, but actually doesn't really end up doing all that much, unfortunately, as the bounce was a little off angle. So, unfortunately for Adren, though, he still gets pushed back at 16 HP, and this gives Conquest full control of the site. Liquid Hiko, along with Adren, both of them have pushed completely out, and they have to try to go for a rat push to retake it at this point. They're moving in, though, and I don't exactly think they spot him. Rix is going to have to be the one to catch this. However, Hiko has second thoughts of moving in through that mid-train yard and moves over here towards the Ivy tunnel instead to try and take out one. He sees one in the corner there, finally going to be able to catch Naf in the open, but now they've got to find Rix and Rush, and Rix still kind of an illusion as he sits up here, and nobody has been able to spot him inside of Heaven just yet. Now he's going to reveal himself, though, and that makes him out in the open. But Rush picking up one, and Rix finding the second. And Conquest do end up closing it out there. A great crossfire angle, and unfortunately Liquid not really able to find those players quickly enough. Hands over the round once again to Conquest. A little bit of a bump there to give Team Liquid their 6th point, but at the end of things, doesn't even matter as they hold such a strong lead here. They're going to solidify their own economy, and as for Liquid, they're not going to have anything to work with here, really. It would be a hugely forced round if they did decide to go for it, and it's not even really going to be worth it if that was the case. So they just go for a couple upgraded pistols here and there, and they're going to have to save and try to play for tie point.
Yeah, getting their economy reset here pretty much just spells the match. Conquest is going to get up towards 15 rounds unless something crazy happens to this. But, I mean, that round, once the defense at Ivy, once that one player gets dropped, they don't have a defense there. They played it more passively. They let Conquest get out of the choke points for free into that outer train yard, and there's just too many avenues of attack, too many avenues of aggression for Conquest while there's no pressure being put on by the defense. So pretty much, I mean, they were able to wrap around towards CT spawn, wrap into the bomb site. Really not much that Liquid could do once they decided to play that passively.
And Liquid, again, just exercising their options here. They go for the gamble and the push coming in from B, as for the most part it's been Conquest pushing into the A site here, but not really going to pay off here. And the only player in the A site to watch things is going to be Elige. He can't see anything from his current angle. The only thing he could catch would be Daps if he runs up this ladder here, and so quiet about it. He is going to be able to get an angle advantage if he pushes, but no, Daps goes back to check and is going to be able to take down Elige. Now they should know, though, that again, with the limited players they found in that area, and they're actually going to get some good intuition going here, that it will be pushed into the A site, but still nothing to stand in their way at this point. Fugly, Hiko, and Nitro, the last ones left alive. Rix and Rush is melting through them. Nitro's going to find one, but with the 2L straighted out, Rix will pick up that final kill, and again, it's a clean one from Conquest. Nothing Liquid really could have done about it with the guns they had, but still, that's that 15th point we were looking to see, and now Liquid, we have to see what exactly they can buy up here, and what is potentially going to be the final round this matchup. For Hiko, at least, along with Elige, it is going to be somewhat limited.
Yeah, and really, there's not much that they can do. They have to buy up these rifles. They cannot afford to let a plant. On this map, where it takes so long to clear out positions, you know, if a bomb gets planted by Conquest, that's almost the match. You know, 3 smokes to use as well. They have very light utility. They're going to have to rely on their individual skill this round and win some duels early on, give themselves some kind of a player advantage during a take. And Conquest playing it very, very slowly. Once again, sending 3 players over towards Ivy. Shazam's going to lead the way with his AWP, and they cannot give up a pick. They just used a smoke here on Ivy. That's going to extinguish at about, like, 110. I mean, there's not a lot of time that they can run down off the clock.
So here we go from Liquid once again, taking it oh so slowly to see if they could find anything earlier out here. That flash comes in, it's going to be used to see if Elige can get himself into T-Con. No resistance there from Conquest, as again, they've been playing it very, very far back so far. Daps in the same position he played from the previous round, sitting over here on top of Ladder Room, and the rest of Conquest taking it very, very slowly, sitting outside of Ivy Tunnel here too. The only one that's exposed would be Shazam with the op playing on top of Dumpster, and nobody from Liquid is going to take the chance on face checking that. So here comes Conquest. No initial nades to work their way in. Fugly, if they don't use a flash to get their way in here, could do some nice work. Nitro as well is pretty close back over on the green drain, so they could shut down this offensive here, but very good play there from Conquest to Shazam. He's going to be able to find another one there, takes down Fugly, and they move it in. The smoke comes out to prevent any rotation from CT spawn, as they're just going to go directly for the outside site. Rix and Rush finding 2 more there to shut things down once more, and then we've got Hiko and Adren, and they have to try and save this in a 2-on-5, but there's just not enough fuel left in the tank here. As we can see, Hiko, there's a molly on the floor in connector. He can't even get through there. A nade to the face brings him down to 60 HP. In the meantime, Adren is going to try to work his way back over, but the molly's going to end up finishing off Hiko there. Nav claims the kill, but some assistance coming in on the spray. Adren finds 2, though, as he takes down Rix and Nav, clearing things out a little bit, but still in a 1-on-3. No nades left here. He's just going to try to go blindly out onto the site here, but now he's in between a rock and a hard place now. He moves his way out, and Rush shuts it down. So Conquest, with a huge upset against Team Liquid, are going to steal away this match and come out on top for today's game. That was a really bad way to end that sentence. I lost all the hype there as I was like, how do I end this sentence? Game. There we go.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know if I'd call that really necessarily an upset. Liquid's been playing really, really well for being so early of a team, but I think Train is a map.
Overall, I would say, basically, reputationally, it would be an upset with all the hype that Liquid has had behind them. But considering it's Train, of course, it's not super surprising.
Well, not just that. I mean, you look at the talent that this Conquest team has on it. You look at the performance that they've had individually at some tournaments and some improvements they've made. I mean, this is a team that took Navi pretty close at the MLG Sivo LAN. I think they even took a map off of them, but they played them pretty close. So this is a team that's no slouch. But yeah, I think just that team Liquid, we've seen them look better for sure. I think they just need a little bit more time, but I think more surprising than anything is just the beatdown that was, and it just kind of comes from the fact that they weren't. I mean, they lost the second round on T side. That's brutal for a map that's so CT sided. To get those 3 rounds early on, you know, that's huge for Terrace teams on Train, but also just never able to stabilize that economy. They only really had one mistake to give up that early in the match, and unfortunately they gave it up, and all of a sudden Conquest is there, you know, at 15 so incredibly quickly. So we'll see improvement out of Liquid as things go on, and right now I think they've been improving at a good rate. But a nice match out of Conquest for sure. Great. I mean, Shazam looked really good with the op on that defensive side, rotating to the inner bomb site, doing a lot of damage.
And that, guys, is going to close out our matches for this evening. Unfortunately, we won't be showing the other match. I actually don't know the way we did it. I was told we were trying to get a second stream up, but I don't actually know if that ended up happening or not. So if the match is still on, it's going to be over at twitch.tv/ESEA2. Producer just told me we do have a second stream going for that one. It's 5-14 at the moment with CLG winning, so if you do want to watch the end of that match, go head over to that other channel right now. But that concludes the stream here on the main ESEA stream. Be sure to join both Mega Man as well as Moses tomorrow as he bring you the second day of play here featuring Team Liquid versus Philo Esports, Complexity versus Method, Lunatic versus Conquest, and Lunatic versus Complexity as well. That all starts at the same time it did today at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on twitch.tv/ESEA. I'll be back on Thursday. But once again, folks, from all of us here at ESEA, we hope you've enjoyed the stream today, and we'll see you next time for more ESL ESEA Pro League.